Hutch is a guy on the internet. Hutch, I don't know much about him, so I can't really give him an introduction. He's about as irrelevant as I am, it feels like. But he used to be bigger in other respects, I guess. But now he's like a 500 concurrent Andy. I think he was really getting set up to become a Destiny orbiter, but Destiny finally got caught a bit. And that just didn't happen for him. I kind of liked Hutch. He seemed like a pretty decent, moderate political commentator, you know what I mean? And I even I think I jumped into some of his stuff. But since the election, it seems like he's been pretty cucked in his coverage of stuff, and he's just been giving like relentless bad takes. And he's completely on the wrong side of the Ethan Klein H3H3 thing. I have no idea what's going on. And I think it's really emblematic of the failures with like kind of people that approach politics from like the Democratic standard region. I don't even know how to say that better. Folks that think that the old way of doing politics is a good idea are very low value right now. And a lot of them seem to be hyper-focused on maintaining some semblance, so to say, of moderation, and they're doing this by approaching the Israel-Palestine conflict by saying like, well, I really don't like it, but I think the worst thing right now is that way that people are reacting to it. And that just kind of, that's the vibe I get from him. And he's definitely way too friendly with some scumbags that I know about. And he was absolutely paid cuck about the Noah Samsen thing. It was actually pretty fucking startling. Westside Smiler, the lip ring speaks volumes. It's gone. Speaking of the Noah Samsen thing, I was making fun of Hutch's coverage of Noah Samsen, which I didn't even bring up on stream, but I had watched it earlier, and like it was some chick that Noah Samsen had smashed when he was in his 20s or some shit. Was like, we had an agreement that he would wear a condom if he fucked around with other people. He was otherwise nice, but then he lied to me about not wearing a condom, which is like a scuzz maneuver, right? Like, you're a dick for doing that. But like, who among us are perfect? Also not a crime at all. Not even remote. Not only not a crime, but also far enough removed from the current year we're in that I think he's not that guy anymore. It's not like this happened like 5 days ago. It was like a while ago. Absolute nothing burger. Really just trying to dig up dirt on someone's personal life in order to smear them. And I don't know. Hutch seemed really, really fucking excited about it. I think I released a video saying he was meat sniffing him. It's not like you shouldn't talk about stuff like that. And yeah, Noah Samsen bad for doing it. But like, I mean, literally like tisk tisk. There you go. There's the punishment for it. I mean, the girl fucking lighting you up on H3H3 is probably, I gotta say, probably more than enough of a punishment for that behavior. Because it's literally not only not a crime, it's basically just sort of a faux pas. And if he learned from that, he even got brought in to talk about it. He went, of course, commentary people don't care about that. The, discussion around it was just like, oh, this is definitive proof that Noah Samsen is bad. These are going to be the same people that are like, no, Nick DiOrio gets all the facts before he makes a statement. You know what I'm saying about these people? They're pretty selective when it comes to how they approach evidence about stuff. Because also there's just literally no proof other than the lady's statement. But fucking the guy's fucking pro Palestine. So I'm just gonna light him up. During that video, I lit fucking Hutch up because his hair is dog shit. And he had this kind of like, whatever. He was just not put together very well. And I said, if you're going to be talking tea, like a tea channel, you're going to have to be snatched. And I made fun of him and his lip ring and his general appearance. And I swear to God, within the next week, the man's fucking hair disappeared and the lip ring vanished. And I don't know. Sometimes, whatever, it's like, Tyler, you have an overinflated sense of yourself, but it's like, we're not that big. When I'm streaming during the day, I'm like a 300 concurrent Andy, you know what I mean? And getting bigger without any reliance on anyone else's fucking job. I'm not anybody else's orbiter. So like, that's all me. people know who I am. All of them know exactly who I am. They watch my content. They talk about me. I know that happens because I've seen reports of it. They're all hyper aware of me, but people don't bring me up on purpose. And then it was just very funny to me that I put that out because there's probably nobody talking about Hutch, right? I'm fighting at my level. Fop. No one else is probably talking about him. I definitely don't see other people talking about his content. So when I tag somebody in their shit, they get a little notification that I made a video on them so that they know I'm talking about them. He probably got it and watched it. And all of a sudden his fucking lip ring and his hair were gone. And I just find that it tickles me pink. And even if he said like that didn't happen, I just think it's great. Are these changes an improvement? I would say so. Yes. Because he looked like he was trying to hang on to being fucking 16. And I think he's my age or older. Not by much, but like, he looks like if he's not 37 or 38, like, bro, you gotta fix your shit. But either way, we're listening to him talking about this stuff. And
pro-Israel I said there, but maybe I don't understand.
Woo, that's too loud.
I mean, I might.
Also, I want to say, not everybody's I don't know. Can you? No, hold on. There you go. Can you see my cursor? No, you can't. Not everybody's screens look like this. Last summer or so, people made complaints to me because they have fucking learning disabilities. Okay, and their learning disabilities make it very difficult for them to read this type of text. You have to really look at the screen, but basically. Chat. It makes it hard to read chat if chat's sitting over the top of other stuff. And so I said, oh, okay, well, I only had chat just up over random photos because fucking, whatever. I was just like putting it over my screen because people couldn't read it. And then all of a sudden, other streamers started doing, I made this black blockout type setup, and then other streamers started doing it. I don't know if everyone else has already been doing it. I just didn't see anyone that was doing it correctly. But like typically it was like you'd have the little fucking talk box type deal, like down here and then like a series of windows. And I just figured fucking there's not enough real estate on these screens if you're not watching on a desktop. I'll just block it out and put it up there. So like my screens have always kind of looked in some way like this. And I don't know if his stuff always was, but it seems like he might have adjusted to it. I could be crazy, but it is funny to turn on my shit and see that his setup looks almost exactly like mine. He probably was doing it first. That's probably not me. Here's to being one of the 300. The 300. Spartans! What is your profession? They all went home and did some nasty shit, legal shit in the modern era. What is this? There is a one thing. I don't use a mouse pad anymore because my old one got soda spilled on it. And I threw it away and I just never bought a new mouse pad. So it's very scratchy if there's anything there. Okay.
I think much of what you said was true.
What is going on?
I'm not sure, frankly, if what we've seen Israel do in terms of Gaza is not broadly supported in Israel. I'm not seeing
He might be right about that.
The body politic.
This Jew is too far to the right for Hassan fans, by the way. What? Who in the fuck? I watched the Hassan thing. What Hassan fans were not fans of fucking Sam Cedar by the end of that?
I mean, I was doing a lot
of right about that.
Israeli reporters
I think he is right about that.
Earlier in 2023 about the protests against what Netanyahu was doing with the judiciary. And
Netanyahu is unpopular, but the actions that they're taking in Gaza, I think, have pretty broad support.
This autocracy that Netanyahu was attempting to sort of impose on the country wasn't an extension of what was happening in places like the West Bank.
Adam Hall, thank you so much, buddy.
Gaza in some fashion, and more so the West Bank at that time. And so I think it's hard to make an argument. And look,
yeah, that head is freshly shaved. Look, my man's fucking his hair's got to catch up with that shit. Did he? Maybe it was just like a he earned some money or something. I don't know though. Like his hair was looking like low HP. He had, if I remember correctly, he had some like fucking Fantano 2017 hair. Wisps. I could be wrong though, but he's definitely that fucking.
I would make
up.
even, you know, it's not a perfect analogy as to what's happening in this country, but you know, when you talk about the Israeli population not you know, having a problem with what's going on in Gaza, I don't see a lot of evidence of that. There's certainly.
Let me see if I can find a poll.
A percentage of Israelis, and I know some of them.
I hate
polls.
polls.
Who think that Israel should stop its assault there, but I don't think.
Hutch looks like Ludwig trying to look like Northern.
Most Israelis support
that
deal with Hamas.
Later, after you said those things, that this is not the character of the vast majority of Israeli society. I mean, I'm not necessarily convinced that they are.
A Pew Research poll from a year ago said that 19% of Israelis said they went too far, 39% said about right, and then the rest not far enough or don't know.
Of awareness of what was happening in the West Bank by Israelis was shocking to them. And,
that was a year ago.
So, you know, I can't say if the Israeli population had a full understanding of what
majority of Israelis support a deal ending the Gaza war.
I don't see a lot of evidence of it.
So, as you touched on, this was made basically before the war started.
56%.
And I think that the unfortunate, really tragic
That's
outcome
like
of the war is how much it's jaded and radicalized. I think people in Israel.
It seems as though a lot of Israelis have shifted.
Really, you know, I think people in Israel feel like
really?
isolated. They feel like. I mean, the sentiment in Israel is basically that. The world wants, you know, the country to disappear, and and obviously, like that's a much more nuanced conversation. But the feeling there has definitely radicalized a lot since the war started. It's gotten a lot worse.
I hate polls. They're really not great for information in a general sense. Everybody's going to use them. Polls say whatever you want them to say, by the way. They really do. If you don't know how to fucking work a poll, you don't know how to do journalism at all. I mean, you don't know how it happens. You definitely don't know how to do PR. Polls, if you're not asking, like, you got to figure out the methodology and all of that sort of stuff. And this isn't me just being, like, lightly pedantic. I mean, for anything, when you see people like, all right, let me da-da-da-da-da. One of the first assignments I ever got a fucking serious, like, I came close to failing in J school when I was in college, was because I was trying to, like, put together this, like, enterprise piece and whatever, and I used a Gallup poll, and my professor said never use polls. Literally just never use them. Like, you can't trust them, and you can't trust yourself to use them if you're trying to do anything in the ballpark of reasonable amounts of stuff. Like, you kind of have to go to the same sort of polls all the time. It's highly complicated mathematics, are what polls are. Highly complicated. And they're also highly complicated sociological, basically, experiments and data gathering. Polls can be affected by every single thing, right? And they're only moderately reliable, and they are also only reliable in context of other polls that show the same information. So, like, you know, favorability polls are only good if you can see, like, what do they call them? A series, I think. It's like is the word 10 series? I don't know. I'm probably fucking that up, but oh, come on, man. This isn't duos. Whatever. I'm going to try to fucking rock and roll with this guy. But basically, like, data can change all the time. You know, like weather can change. You know how you say, like, well, generally it's warm in summer. It's very warm, maybe even hot in summer. But then you'll have cold days in summer, right? A weather report is basically very similar to how a poll is done. It's not like a one-for-one thing. Oh, damn it. I knew they were behind me. That's it. Bye. So, like, you have a lot of different types of data and shit. And one day, because of the way that you went and gathered data, could be an outlier day. 6 days that you get data could be 6 outlier days incidentally. So, like, a poll is a experiment, like a scientific method. The experimentation and data gathering part of that, it's that, but without the, you know, a modicum of conclusion, but without the ability to ever restudy. Like, you can never repeat the results of a poll. You can't. Because a poll is, despite what it feels like, it's always incidental to a single moment in time. And that's why it's always very dubious that you'll hear people like, well, a Gallup poll of, 200 people said this thing. And it's like, dude, you did not tell me the date of that poll. It's worthless. You know what I mean? Like 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 days ago, 5 days ago. Imagine if you said, was it be okay for a dude to randomly go shoot a dude in New York City, at all, period? Should we have like secret guns in New York City? There would have been a bunch of people that said absolutely no, that say like, I don't know, maybe it's okay the day after Luigi Mangione fucking cracked that dude. And you would say before that, it was something that was like, okay, this is your opinion. Okay, yeah, sure. Do you rate this as a highly well-held opinion? Is this like a crucial opinion to you? And you might say that it is, and then the next day, the thing that you thought was a crucial opinion is not. Polls are valuable, very valuable data center. Data, they're very powerful data gathering tools, right? And they're extremely useful in a lot of different industries and for whatever uses and stuff. I'm half playing the game, but they are dubiously useful for anybody outside of the profession that develops the poll. They really are. And you always just have Hutch just saying like, I'm going to look up a poll real quick is just, that's tantamount to bad research. And I would say that about anybody. I would say that about his son. I would say that about Vosh. I probably have. If you look at my channel, hopefully I've been pretty consistent on it. I might have been gentler with this or that person, but yeah, polls should never be trusted. And the people that actually put the polls together, unless they're like selling it specifically, will tell you the same thing. They'll tell you that, you need to say this. When you use this, we need you to talk about the degree of uncertainty. We need you to mention highly specifically that this methodology was compromised in the Sector A92 and Sector A93 by our lack of ability to reprocess additional entries. Also, we found that question A53 and A56, which are coincidental to the gathering of data for question A59, we were scaring people off, and we saw that there was a lot of like mutability when we flipped those questions around. So some people filled out the survey in different directions, and so they became they started gathering an alternative impression of what question A51 really was compared to question A52. Like, that's what actual pollsters sound like. And understand, they're very good at their job. You can trust their data, but you have to know how to use it. Just going out and searching a poll is literally just asking for confirmation bias. That's all it is. Trust me, like you cannot trust anybody that just goes and looks for it. You can trust the person maybe for other stuff, but don't trust the thing that they say after it. Polls are worthless in the hands of people who are not pollsters or who are not experts in interpreting that data and doing so in a way that they're talking to someone who can understand the data interpretation and challenge it, challenge it is one of the most important parts. I'm going to let him play again because I'm going to go fucking kill these guys.
And I think, I think that gets to it to some extent. I mean, you have this wholesale slaughter. I was looking up, we killed in Iraq.
What the fuck?
Depending on what numbers you want to look at, but 150, 200,000, directly hundreds of thousands of people. But even like the number of children that we killed in Iraq, I think has been surpassed by what's happened in Gaza. And I think one of the things that I find shocking is
when I can talk to you guys.
The sense and look, I experienced this with I
just did a
members,
Google on a poll about polls and found one that says polls are useless.
True. There's a victimization, for instance, let's say on college campus of Jewish students, and I think that to look at what's going on, the totality of what's going on, and to perceive the victims of what's happening here.
Wani Bart, thank you so much for. Whoa, Jesus! Why is everybody being so generous today?
The citizenry, or
thank you so much, man.
Jews in this country, I think it just blows my mind. I mean,
two people can care about two things at once.
Yeah, you can compartmentalize.
Absolutely.
Well, people,
no, absolutely.
People who are uninvolved in the war, if they're being like victimized in a separate situation,
I don't think that's a great point from Sam.
That's a problem, don't you think?
Oh, I do, but
and you can care about two things. You can't.
No, absolutely.
People who are uninvolved in the war, if they're being like victimized in a separate situation.
I don't think that's a great point from Sam.
That's a problem, don't you think?
Thank you so much, man.
Jews in this country, I think it just blows my mind. I mean,
two people can care about two things at once.
Where the sense that there's a victimization, for instance, let's say on college campus of Jewish students, and I think that to look at what's going on, the totality of what's going on, and to perceive the victims of what's happening here.
Wani Bart, thank you so much for. Whoa, Jesus! Why is everybody being so generous today?
The citizenry or
thank you so much, man.
Jews in this country, I think it just blows my mind. I mean,
well, two people can care about two things at once.
Yeah, you can compartmentalize.
Well, people.
Oh no, he's just agreeing. He didn't pay attention to any of this. He doesn't even know the point that fucking Sam made.
People who are uninvolved in the war, if they're being like victimized in a
it wasn't like there's not much of a point there.
Separate situation.
I don't think that's a great point from Sam.
That's a problem, don't you think?
Oh, I do.
Well, maybe I'll
you can care about two things. You can't be like, oh, these people are ridiculous for caring about anti-Semitism on college campuses because the war's happening. I mean, both we can care about two things. Obviously, one is way worse, right? One is way worse.
But that's the point. I mean, one is way worse. And what's happening in Gaza?
Who should tolerate being discriminated against based on their identity? You know what I mean? Like, of course, who wouldn't react to that?
I don't think that people are. I don't think that people are being victimized. I mean, certainly. Listen,
if you block access,
it was real when I was a kid. There was many
certain parts of a campus.
Yeah. This is trash coverage. Hutch, you're fucking up. Tell me why that was a bad point. That's what you're supposed to, when you do commentary. So like, I'm gonna do it right now. When you say Sam, that was a bad point from Sam, you're supposed to explain why. I don't know. Do you have like somebody paying you to fucking just say that, or is it? Do you have an appearing script that you're playing along with this? It says like, say this is bad at this point or something, because you're supposed to explain to me why it's a bad point. You not explaining to me why it's a bad point just means that you're just saying shit. Just say why it's a bad point, and stop it or whatever the fuck to explain.
Me growing up and playing basketball. I mean, there was a lot of
because the person is a Zionist. That's bad. That's not good.
Put it in the context of like
this is dog shit.
I'm a parent. If my kid is going through something very difficult, it's obviously difficult for me, but
Grassroots Hegemon with another 10 gifted. Thank you.
It's a question of
holy crap.
Sucking up sucking up subs and fucking and donos here. Just fucking saying, oh no, this is bad. This is bad. This is propagandizing, bro. This is raw shit.
Prioritizing these things. You can have two thoughts in your head at the same time, but to center oneself or to perceive that one's victimization is sufficient to ignore the.
I got to stop you because I don't know who's doing that.
Well, I mean, I just said, like, you just presented as the Israeli population feels like they're isolated and this and that.
There's two different separate conversations. There's like the American Jewry who's like, I have nothing to do with that place. And then the Israelis, right? So like when you're talking about.
In terms of the way that you characterized the Israeli feeling was that they feel isolated, et cetera, and I can understand that, but to not have the first thought of like, we are committing, like you say, genocidal acts. And if people want to call it genocide, obviously it's got to be
Jinx with 20 gifted. Holy crap!
Colloquially speaking, at the very least, it is a genocide.
Yeah, man, dude, my man's getting fucked. This is what it is. You're watching it. This is the system. I got a direction that I want you to go. It literally no fucking actual commentary, head empty, nothing said. Basically, in like 17 minutes, he's just sitting here sucking up donos. Which I mean, shout it out, but like, god damn. You got to be a little less blatant with it, man. Dance a little bit for your money. Pick it up with your ass.
And to not recognize that as the fundamental issue, the first issue, I think is blinkered. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, it's a little gobsmacking to me.
Well, so I do agree with you that obviously in Israel, people. I think the problem, and just to say on a higher level, I agree with you. Like, obviously, the people in Israel compared to like what's on October 7th, they were victims. After everything that's happened, obviously, whatever they've suffered pales in comparison to the mass destruction and like wanton death of civilians in Gaza and what's happening in the West Bank too. Lots of awful stuff. That being said, I think the problem with Israel, just to try to explain what's happening there, because I do agree with you, is just like the media apparatus and the feeling that they have there. It's like there's not a lot of space emotionally, and like even the information that they're consuming, I think that would allow them to have that kind of like self-realization. And like you said, a lot of Israelis don't know.
Probably heavily propagandized, right?
There's some, yeah, of course there's some.
What was it? In the fall, you had the publisher of Haaretz, speaking out about what was going on there. And the paper was essentially, a cutout, or there was an attempt by the government to basically shut them down on to some extent. I mean, so.
Well, so what's your explanation why Israelis don't care? It's not that they're evil, right?
Well, I think. Look, there's. I'm sure that there is a.
I think that's. I think that's a sufficient thing to say. That like, yeah, if you don't care about a genocide, you're evil. I think that's fine. I think that's a fine thing to say. We already did say that. We've been saying about that about the German citizenry for what, half a century or more now, I guess. No, it's okay to say that. I think that's a pretty reasonable. I think that's a pretty reasonable take that you're an evil person if you are unbothered by genocide. I think that might be actually bog standard evil. I think that might be that's an evil common card, right? Costs no land to play. No land, no energy, free turn. Yeah. Oh shit. What is it? Yeah, I don't care about the genocide. Oh shit. So you're evil, right? Like, oh yeah. Like, it's just it's there. It's like, yeah, Tyler, do you care about some other fucking genocide? I mean, I can't say that I do because like I don't go and get involved in it, but I also don't live next door to it, and I'm not benefiting from it directly. You know what I mean? And then also like fucking lying about it and fuck it right there. Like I could smell the bodies burning if the fucking wind shifts. That's fucking nuts. Yeah, you're evil, man. That's the definition. That's a foundational pinpoint. That is what evil is.
A mass, sort of like a failure to deal with trauma. I think some of it is, frankly, is racism. I think, how can you explain, how can I explain how I just watched a clip of people at a Trump rally chanting USA, USA, to watching a video of people being, taken into that prison in El Salvador and having their heads shaved. I mean, I don't know how I can explain that. So I don't know how I could explain how the Israelis are able to the extent that they can see what's going on in Gaza, have that reaction. But I know that it's wrong. And I think, some of it undoubtedly is a racism. Some of it is, maybe some type of mass failure to deal with the trauma. I mean,
if we want to go tit for tat,
part of it, I think there's a.
In the immediate aftermath of October 7th, the polling that we did see showed that
immigrants to Israel
this is
over the past,
Palestinians in Gaza broadly supported what happened on October 7th. So there's,
Israeli Jews. How do you know? How do you fucking know? Who did the fuck? Who went to fucking Gaza and survived doing a poll? This is dog shit reporting. Like, Hutch, this is fucking ass. This is ass. These fucking polls. I didn't know he was gonna go fucking this hard. Is that if that's gonna be his entire thing? Is I fucking read some surveys. Survey says they're in favor of these attacks. Survey says, you know what I mean? Like that. This is the broadness of what we're talking about. It's fucking nuts. So I guess we're gonna use this polling as a justification for murdering people, which it doesn't. It doesn't. I guess we'll see.
Is it beyond the sort of vague notion?
Very skeptical of each other.
And I
from
agree,
my perspective, it's gobsmacking. And to me, it has shown. And I never identified myself as a Zionist as a kid, or through the years, and I never identified myself as an anti-Zionist. I don't think I think those
is that
really until
is that racism, or is it two groups of people who have been basically at war with each other for decades? And
I don't really care one way or another.
There's a lot of they're not at war with each other. It's racism. One fucking people decided they wanted to have all this shit, and then they used the support of a much larger nation in order to start killing everybody else, right? And booting them out. It's not really a war. You don't fight wars against kids and children, or women and children, and non-combatants. It's not a war. It's an extermination. So, trying to fucking hand wave this as though it's a war also suggests that if the other direction is valid. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, come on. Whoop. There we go. Sorry, I was cracking fucking headies, bro. What was this fucking guy doing? Maybe? Probably not. Dude, I forgot that you get fucking red sight. Goddamn things. Okay. But yeah. They haven't been at war with each other. That's not what war is, remotely. I don't know why he feels qualified to say that.
But to me, it shows a failure of that system of government that Israel has. And it has failed both from a perspective of, what I think some people had as a notion of Zionism in the 19th century. It has been a failure in terms of keeping Jews safe, frankly. It seems to me to have been a massive failure. And so I can't operate as someone who lives in Israel, but I can operate as someone who is an American in terms of like what we support, which is why I think we should end all aid. And as a Jew who sees my religion being used as what I perceive as a fig leaf for what Israelis or Zionists are doing, and so that's where I'm coming from with this. That I don't know if there is a psychological state that can justify this. In fact, I don't think there is, and so
it's just an attempt to understand, not justify, because it is what it is, right? Like it is the way that it is, and so that's for a reason, and it's just trying to explain it. That's all. I agree with everything you're saying, but actually, one thing I want to pivot to and ask you about.
Do you think that we should cut all aid to Israel?
I think that'd be justifiable, yeah.
And,
we're talking about like military and stuff. Yeah, for sure. Israel can make their own bombs and shit.
Every
if they need, like, they don't need American military. Yeah, I agree
they do.
That.
I think they do need it to do what they're doing, without a doubt. And
what I mean is
the only reason I constantly hear about
it, to say more accurately. So yeah, I think military aid should be cut for sure until.
As a Jew, and obviously you have a different connection to Israel than I do, as through your family and whatnot.
Damn, dude, how the fuck would I
and through having lived there. But as a Jew, I take such offense to what is being done ostensibly to protect me and my family.
Grassroots hegemon with 50 gifted memberships? What?
Progeny and
dude. This is shameless. Hutch is getting literally greased just to fucking be supportive here.
I think
and say nothing about it.
Everybody subscribe now?
I'm pausing the actual debate more.
And is wrong.
Like he's got nothing to add to this. This is crazy.
We can see what it's even doing in the context of this country. The way that it's enabled Trump to attack universities and to attack the law firms and whatever. And so I don't know. And if you agree with that, great. If not, I'm happy to.
I told you guys, these guys are going to agree on like.
Yeah, no, I agree
most
with everything
things.
you're saying. And part of the reason why this chasm started between me. And Hassan is very influential, so when he decides that somebody is an enemy of the movement for criticizing him, which is what I perceive happened, then it kind of becomes reality. For example, one of my criticisms of his is him not supporting Kamala Harris. Now, would she have stopped the war and been like a perfect dove? I don't know, but I know she would have been better than Trump. I know that for sure. Trump's posting like
he voted for Kamala, but he hedged when it came to like suggesting that his audience vote for her.
And like
which to me is bullshit.
He's telling Netanyahu, you have a blank check to do whatever you want. Now, like,
it just came out that Biden didn't, did nothing to. Listen. I think.
Well, I'm talking about Kamala.
I suspect that. I think
it was pretty obvious that Kamala was going to be harder on Netanyahu.
She would not have had the same policies as Trump.
Right.
But at the same time, I think that it was a massive failure, both on a real human level. Like it would have, I think, had she articulated anything even remotely close to what I would hope her difference would have been. I think it would have probably had implications in the election, but I think perhaps even more importantly, it would have maybe implicated the behavior of Israel. So, look, I chose to support Harris because I perceived her as the lesser of two evils, but
this is he's not even doing anything else. This is dog shit, bro. If you're getting paid for this, you're getting paid to agree. This is you're getting bribed. Who fucking donates 50 subs to this? Be deeply suspicious. There is so much money being pushed into this fucking sphere right now. It's absolutely crazy. And understand, like, there's a bunch of millionaires that know about all this shit. Dan Saltman's a fucking .com millionaire from back in the day. I know he's fucking greasing wheels here. This is nuts. My man is making so much fucking money doing literally nothing. That's crazy. Not saying he has nothing to add to this. Not a fucking thing.
Yeah, me too.
Like I've been listening to these guys talk, and like occasionally we're like, what is the largest amount of additional information that fucking Hutch has added here. I think that there was a poll done by who fucking even knows. Somebody put out a survey that said, survey says, did you like the fucking terrorist attack? And like Gazans, they deserve to get slaughtered because they deserved it. And what his other comment was, they've been at war for years. Okay. Yeah. All right.
And I think that's an important distinction to make at a time like this. Yeah.
I can certainly understand how some people were just so repulsed by what was happening.
Don't do it.
It made it almost impossible for them to vote for Harris.
Oh my God.
You know,
I understand.
Okay, Sam. Okay, Sam.
Why they didn't? I totally understand the perspective. Like, I'm so disillusioned with this.
What is it? What is it?
What was happening?
Don't do it.
It made it almost impossible for them to vote for Harris.
Oh my God.
You know,
I understand.
Okay, Sam. Okay, Sam.
Why they didn't? I totally understand the perspective. Like, I'm so disillusioned with this administration. I can't support Kamala. But
I've seen Sam have a conversation with Tim Pool where he very clearly laid out the idea of like
Hassan, who has a huge influence on people. I think
voting for the lesser of two evils.
Who's very vocal about being
what in the is my man just did he just rack back some vodka, or is he just got a clear glass water bottle? Yo, Hutch is fucking getting it. Look at this. My man's racked, bro. What look at this guy. Look at this guy. He's fucking racking it, man. What's going on here? That better not be the old schmearness. That'd be fucking hilarious, dude. That would be like absolutely proof that we finally have like we're in the simulation. Dude's just racking Smirnoff while he's fucking talking about a debate. It has to be water. That'd be fucking crazy. It would be the coolest thing ever, actually. It would be fucking dope. But no, like fucking yeah, Sam's not saying that you should do that. Sam's saying he just understands people's like why they did. Well, you can be understanding of somebody and also disagree with them. Which you agreed with earlier.
Palestine, sure. I feel like it's an abdication of responsibility to be like, I'm not voting for Kamala, or I'm not telling you who I voted for. I suspect he voted for Jill Stein.
Hutch doesn't want to talk over a recording.
He hasn't said, and he wouldn't endorse it.
Wait, what?
Just like
didn't he vote for Kamala on stream?
Whatever, and like you're like, I'm so disgusted, I don't want to vote. That's fine. But if you're like a high-level political streamer, and you know, basically, you have the capacity to weigh like the lesser of two evils and what that means, I feel like it's an abdication of responsibility to not make that call.
I agree.
I mean, you know, I certainly have been critical of people who, you know,
you didn't show
generally don't vote for the lesser of two evils. But I think, you know, and certainly, you know, in the run up to the 2016 election, I certainly that was my perspective. But again, you know, what the Biden administration was doing was so horrific that
she did not set the foreign policy. It was not her foreign policy.
Any change, you know, I think. Come on. Sometimes you have to take this at face value, and I think there was.
Kamala did not set the Israel policy. He was serving,
assaulting the government
as the vice president,
like Trump is. But you know, I think probably this is the first election in as long as I've been doing this, and I think it's been 5 elections now. I mean, I'm old.
Dude, that lifeline's fucking hitting
that I couldn't really condemn someone from taking that position.
He did not vote for Kamala on.
We're seeing. I mean, this is.
It's not just.
Oh no, so they're lying now, right? Because like I've been hearing everybody's been saying this, that fucking Hassan voted for. Yeah, Hassan voted for Kamala on stream. Hassan confirmed it. It's gotta be on. Oh no, where was I? Fuck me, I hate you, YouTube. Why do you have that?
Anything even remotely close to what I would hope her difference would have been. That
he did not vote for Kamala on.
Oh my God,
it's not just a random person. I do, and I'll tell you why. Kamala Harris wanted.
Jesus Christ.
A ceasefire. She stated that. Trump said, "Finish them." I mean, let's be honest. Like for someone like Hassan,
said, I want a ceasefire.
I'm not voting for Biden. I'm not talking about Biden.
No, I understand, but we found out that Biden, in fact, did nothing to bring that about.
Kamala.
So, well, like, you know, you can talk about Biden. I'm talking about Kamala Harris. What she said.
No, but I mean that's a fair. She's the fucking vice president of the guy. It's not like she's a completely different candidate. Like, what do you think is going to be the big change up? She's on the Joe Biden ticket. She's got to sell herself as additional bonus rounds Joe Biden. We knew that. We were talking about that during the run up to the election, that Kamala is supposed to be Joe Biden, but younger, blacker, and a woman. So like maybe a little more, I don't know, somehow leftist, but then she was not lefty on anything. She had all of the same positions as him, but also was like clearly playing up to the fucking the Dem mega donor type crowd, like DNC traditionalists, which is why everybody fucking hates her, right? It was very difficult to even try to be fucking pro Kamala at the time, because you're like, fuck, obviously I don't want fucking accelerationism right now, but now we're in it. Sticking with this at the time, at this point, is crazy. You know what I mean? I mean, you fucking dog on people that didn't vote. I will. I think that you're a fucking idiot if you didn't vote, and I think you're fucking stupid as shit if you voted for Jill Stein. But saying that, like, yeah, Kamala Harris came off as fucking bonus rounds Joe Biden is like the most milquetoast, lukewarm, accurate take you can fucking give. Like, it was depressing watching her increasingly dog shit fucking interviews and her fucking mealy-mouthed, half-assed fucking takes. She seemed afraid to talk about it. It's stupid as fuck.
I'm job master.
I mean,
well, she's the vice president. I mean, at the end of the day, she doesn't really do that much.
She says
right?
not
no,
change
but I'm
anything
talking about the
Biden would do.
candidate. Biden, as a president, said
doesn't
he wanted a
matter.
ceasefire. She, as a candidate, said, "I want a ceasefire."
Well, do you not? Even if you're like, I don't know how much I trust them. One's like, I want a ceasefire, and the other one is like, finish them.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it was certainly obvious to me that Trump was going to be worse. But I think, like, if you're trying to get the candidate,
But also, like, they're fucking. It's an election of presidents. You know what I mean? We already have. Trump can do more stuff, obviously, but the president's role up until you have a Trump is supposed to be pretty fucking limited. And the entirety of the Democratic Party's, like, outlook on this shit is the Democrats fucking do a Chuck Schumer and say, I really just wish they would cut it out, and then they don't do anything to cut it out, and then the fucking Republicans push harder. It doesn't actually benefit the Gazans in either way to go with the other option, as we're clearly seeing now, because this is just going to be something that was kicked. The can has been kicked down the road so much. That's the fucking point. That's what everybody's trying to fucking pass along as information here. It's kind of like disingenuous to think that this would have ended in a different way. First off, because the message wasn't compelling. They lost. They're losers. Who gives a fuck? It's their fault for losing. Understand, if a politician doesn't win, unless there's actual malfeasance, it's that politician's fault for losing because they fucking suck. So they were bad politicians. They were bad at politics. They didn't win an election. That's all you're supposed to do. If you're a politician, you win elections. Everything else is fucking secondhand, which you should know if you're a fucking political commentator. That's it. So their message clearly failed to attract them. Now it's time to abandon them permanently. You need to fucking hate a loser. Be an American, Hutch, for like 2 fucking seconds. So that you can actually start fucking appealing to people that live in this country, and not whoever the fuck is from outside of this country paying you to fucking piss pants this entire fucking interview. Dog shit points, by the way.
candidate to show some indication of this.
How'd that work out?
I wouldn't do it.
How did that work out? How'd that work out?
Point to, like, ultimately, I understand why people wouldn't want to support them because of what
How'd that
they've
work
seen.
out?
And like that, it feels like, you know.
Did you
same
teach
way
the
it always
Democratic
would
Party a
have.
lesson?
shows a tremendous amount of just like electoral malfeasance on her part. I mean, they made an active choice. And I think, you could have put that Palestinian lawmaker from Georgia on stage. They made an active choice to signal to whomever they were signaling that they weren't going to do anything. Now, I happen to believe that she would have been better on this than Trump. But they were making an active choice to do that. I mean, it was really electoral malfeasance on her part, in my opinion.
And here's the thing, and this is where I really want to come from. At the time, I said it was probably a good idea because, in my opinion, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe this isn't a winning issue, and maybe this is going to be the best possible thing to do. It's going to be to push forward Kamala and kick the can down the road again. Obviously, it's not going to fucking solve anything. It's a fucking genocide. Obviously, it's a fucking genocide. It must obviously be genocide of genocides. Fucking King genocide. Murder Town Central. Whatever. But, like, yeah, you got to pick your fucking battles. You got to win your fights. All that fucking hootin', whatever the fuck, right? But now we see that didn't work. Okay, so it's time to stop blaming everybody who fucking didn't vote and blah, 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 blah. That's their job. That's what they get $1 billion fucking dollars from the DNC and donors to do. All of that money is not magic fucking poopy paper for just advertisements. The advertisements are supposed to motivate voters. The speeches are supposed to motivate voters. You could not convince the voting populace of your platform to such an extent that you fucking basically it resulted in a historic loss and ultimately a massive failure of showing up as a fucking candidate at all. Like I haven't seen somebody embarrass themselves in a fucking run this bad in my fucking life. And like I lived through the fucking Al Gore thing and him fucking just letting the goddamn Republican establishment pants him and start the war in Iraq. People are fucking sick of it. They are sick of pussy fuck middling, oh, come on, why can't we all just come together and just kick this can down the road one more time? Bullshit. No one fucking likes that. Okay? And it's hard to fucking support on my end. I don't want to fucking do it anymore. Now that I see the fucking sea change is going the other way, fuck yeah, dude, I'm about it. I'm on acceleration fucking station. Let's do it. Let's fucking rip the whole fucking thing down and build up from again. Because clearly, the fucking... The people who are even trying to maintain the status quo, the Democrats, that's all they're trying to do. They don't give a fuck. They don't fucking care. They're not trying to fucking build anything new. They're not trying to fix even what's there. They're trying to kick the can down the road again and again and again and again as we all get older and poorer. And every single Republican fucking victory that always comes because people lose faith in Democrats that don't fucking deliver. Every fucking victory that comes from the Republicans pushes our country further and other countries across the world further into the fucking grips of their psychotic ideas for how things should run. There is no future. There is no future. There is no future piss-pantsing around like this because you eventually just slowly but surely, it's a ratchet. Click, 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 click. It goes only one direction and doesn't go back the other. It's fucking stupid and childish. Stupid and fucking childish to pretend that this fucking election result does not mean something and that it's actually a mistake on the part of everybody else and somebody, the fucking politician whose job is to win elections, did everything right. It's fucking stupid, dude. Childish misunderstanding of how politics work. Like an embarrassment that you're saying this. You clearly have to be on the take because nobody could be fucking stupid enough to just say shit like this. Like, oh god, the bitch lost. She lost. Fuck her. I don't give a fuck about a fucking politician that doesn't win. Win. Convince people. It's a fucking democracy. Convince people first to go vote, and second off, to vote for you. Okay? That's all you had to do. And it was record low fucking turnout. Except for by the fucking sociopaths, because you didn't fucking give people what they want. You didn't listen to your constituency. You did not read the polls correctly, which is what she was probably being sent polls that say, oh, I know about this. That's kind of fucking crazy that we're doing this. Maybe it's not the best idea. She ignored that. She went with a different type of she went with a different strategy. That strategy failed. It's a failed fucking strategy. It did not get people to fucking sign up to vote. It did not get people to out to vote. It did not result in a win. Abandon it. It's done. You are done with it. Done with it forever. It has no fucking value. And this absolutely cucked fucking mentality of trying to blame everybody else for that fucking loss when there's new shit to do is stupid as fuck. Fuck. I'm not fucking carrying this. I'm not carrying that. Fuck.
I don't know what the point of litigating this is per se, but
that's the big disconnect.
We're talking about
that's the big disconnect.
My criticisms of Hassan,
yeah,
and how this.
Okay, yeah, I gotta fucking address that. She ran a perfect campaign, even by like, if you really want to say that Kamala did the best she could with what she was given. Okay, sure, maybe fine. You can say that she couldn't have run a perfect campaign because it was the opposite of what a good campaign is. There was no primary. That doesn't mean it's like anti-democratic. It's fine to run a fucking candidate with no primary if the situation calls for it, but there wasn't a primary. Primaries are that's your beta test. Primaries are how you beta test candidates. This isn't a complicated, difficult thing to understand. It's what we all talk about. Wow, we're all looking forward to Wisconsin because some dickheads are going to go to fucking Wisconsin. We're going to go to Iowa. We're going to go to New Hampshire. They're going to talk to a bunch of dipshits at fucking steel mills and coal fields and new fucking microchip processing centers and fucking Navy depots and fucking homesteads and farms and apple fucking orchards and shit. And they're going to talk about stuff. And you're going to see if they have weird squeaky vocal tics or if they try to grind up hot dogs in fucking blenders so that they can drink hot dog grease. You're like, why are you doing that? And they're like, it keeps away the fucking superbugs. And then you go, oh, okay, yeah, this bitch is fucking weird. I didn't know what the fuck Kamala Harris fucking sounded like before coconuts and shit. Whatever the fuck that Coconut Island stuff was that you think you made me feel I'm a coconut tree? I don't even know if she fucking said that. I never heard her voice. I did not know who Kamala Harris was. Was I in for Kamala? Yeah, because I didn't want fucking Donald Trump to be president because this shit would happen. Unfortunately, She fucking didn't win. She didn't have a chance to do a primary. She didn't have a chance to fucking introduce herself. She was a fucking absolute shadow puppet in the government before. You know, whatever. You can say like, oh no, made it clear you weren't paying attention. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to all the shit the fucking vice president does because she wasn't doing anything fucking interesting and nobody was telling me. Okay, so you all failed your job. If you're a pundit and you couldn't get to me to tell me how important she was in fucking 2021, then you fucked up. Congratulations. You fucking suck at your job too. But you're all trying to fucking blame Hassan and these fucking dipshits. Like, okay, yeah, sure. Maybe at the time you can fucking try to put some pressure on them to shut the fuck up, but it's done. She lost. She lost. Did she do the best with what she was given? Yes, a horrible fucking platform, not enough time to introduce herself. She actually did not have the electability that we thought she did. Everyone that says she did is going to read off of a fucking poll that no one gives a fucking fuck about because guess what? The poll doesn't matter. The votes do. The votes are better than a poll. A poll is voting for not the entirety of the voting populace. Vote is fucking worthless. Worthless. Shit. God, I hate it. Perfect campaign. Perfect campaigns win. Perfect campaigns achieve victory. They don't fucking lose. That's what a perfect campaign is. The perfect campaign is one that ends with you a fucking win. You can call it imperfect. You know, we had a lot of struggles there. I thought we didn't really pull it out there in fucking Wisconsin like I thought. I thought we were going to be a little bit stronger on the Midwest states, but we still got a victory out of it. You can do that. Oh, you motherfucker. You're right. Fuck you. I am trying to fucking make a point about fucking politics. Fire. Jesus fucking Christ, these fucking assholes in this game won't let me talk. But either way, no, it wasn't a fucking perfect campaign. Perfect campaigns win. Once the loss is handed to you, sitting around with your fucking finger in your asshole saying, oh, I don't know, guys. Certainly anyone else let's focus on what already happened and pretend like it wasn't that case and blame it. Fuck no, dude, we're done. It's a new era. I fucking did this forever. This is cope. This is a fucking dipshit copium nonsense. And it's cucked and it's fucking lame. I fucking hate it. She lost. She's a loser. I don't want to hear about Kamala Harris ever again. I don't want to see her talking at events. Why? Because she fucking lost. I kind of like Tim Walz. Because I barely knew him. Dude, seriously, dude. She got every fucking headshot on me. Someone's coming.
Empty my heart.
There we go.
What lies behind the veil?
Alright, we're just gonna let it play out for a bit because I gotta fucking focus on whether we're gonna get a single kill in this goddamn game.
You this.
I don't care about.
I know.
I honestly, I'm like,
Let me show you this. This is
I'm
more.
not. I don't. I honestly. Like,
Yeah, you don't care. I know.
I don't care. I don't.
And why should you? I don't blame you. We talked about anti-Semitism, and you think that I don't want to put words in your mouth, right? But you seem to have conveyed that, you know, compared to the destruction and everything happening, the genocide, the loss of life in Gaza, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, that obviously that's way more important. So let me show you an example of something. And again, I know you don't care about the drama. To me, this isn't drama. This is one of the biggest, most influential streamers spreading something that I think is really dangerous. And you can agree or disagree, but it's a short clip, but I'll show it to you, and you tell me what you think.
This will never happen, but in a totally just world, any kind of, regardless of your background, any kind of Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a rabid neo-Nazi.
Yes.
And you shouldn't even let someone be the local dog catcher as Felix was posting.
I'm gonna pause this because I know what this fucking response is gonna be. This statement gets mischaracterized. I understand, like, dude, I'm not a fucking gigantic Hassan fan, even remotely. I have a lot of criticisms for the guy, but he's not even remotely wrong here. He's not saying Zionist support or support for Israel. He's saying tendencies, the tendencies of a Zionist, people that are actively engaged in support of a place that's fucking committing genocide. Yeah, anybody that displays the tendency to want to support and justify a fucking ongoing apartheid state, yeah, they should not be given access to the political power of any country. They should not even be able to run for the fucking dog. Duh. These are not complicated, difficult, or even remotely fucking controversial statements. Yes, anybody that displays Zionist tendencies, i.e. they want fucking Zion to exist, which is, yeah, a bunch of fucking Catholics and Christians and shit who want to fucking bring on goddamn the end of the world. There's death cults that want fucking Zion, and that's why they'll fucking support it like completely without reservation. I know somebody else is coming from a different direction. Yeah, they should not be given access to the fucking political power of anything. We already know that. Donald Trump displays many Zionist tendencies. He's actually kind of perfect for it. He doesn't even give a fuck about Jewish people at all. He just sees it as a fucking means to an end to gain fucking power and influence. No way. Traded. You're not killing me.
Right here.
Whoa, what the fuck? Who's that guy? Oh, they must have hit me from the back. I got hit from the back. Would you say that Russia supporters should have the same treatment as Israel supporters? Yes, yes. Why is that going to be on? Ban empanadas probably
if they've
pro-Russian.
ever exhibited
that is.
any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this.
Now, by the way, he didn't misspeak. He doubled down on it yesterday. He said, no, I agree. That's what I think. Now, just to recap, he says, anyone that's had positive feelings at any point about the state of Israel is a neo-Nazi that's not fit to be a dog walker.
He didn't say
to me, that seems like extremely dangerous, dehumanizing language about what could arguably be 70% of the Jewish diaspora.
He played the fucking quote and then misread it. This is like a standard Destiny thing to do.
There's
and
some
Loader
hyperbole
Box.
there, but
Come on.
I think, I mean, he says Zionism, and I'll tell you what I think is really...
Sorry, I got to correct you. He says Zionism, and then he says, if you had positive feelings about the state of Israel at any point in your life.
I got to tell you, if you look at what's happening right now...
Come on, Sam!
You have positive feelings about Israel.
I swear to God, did he not just say fucking tendencies? I might be crazy.
Would I have said at any point in his life, someone's life? But I just think this is such a petty, like the idea.
That's why they wanted you two to talk.
We're going to police. Hold on, let me respond. You want me to respond to this?
No,
like I say, I don't care about this. But if you're going to force me to respond to it, what Israel is doing right now is so far beyond the idea that someone says any time in your life or not or whatnot.
He's doing the thing where it's like they're starving kids in Africa, so you know.
Frankly, I think it's very difficult for me to
why are you upset about this thing when there's starving kids in Africa?
Positive feelings at this time. Now you want to say in the past and what? Okay.
Yeah.
Like I say, I will grant you at any time in your life that is too broad a step away. Let me finish.
Yeah.
But see, you go in and you're making this about anti-Semitism by doing this hopscotch about a poll that people had positive feelings that Jewish people do, and then therefore he is anti-Semitic. And honestly, that type of conflation, I think, is so dangerous and so disingenuous. I mean, I don't want to get too passionate about this, but I'll tell you something. I have had a guy who went to my bar mitzvah, my sister's bar mitzvah, my kid's bar mitzvah, sat at Passover with me 3 or 4 times, call my father and ask him if I'm anti-Semitic. Now, this is just one, that is just an example, an illustration of conflating what he's clearly talking about Zionism. Was it hyperbole to say any time in life, whatever? The fact of the matter is this conflation is dangerous for Jews. It is a fig leaf and a way of weaponizing anti-Semitism that has enabled Donald Trump to do the shit he's doing, that has enabled the slaughter of thousands upon thousands of children and women and men.
Excuse me.
It is not
voting for Kamala enabled
this
it.
This type of conflation, Ethan, is what I find far...
Oh, shut the fuck up. God damn it. No, it didn't. Like, what? October, that was in 2023. Like, October 7th happened over a year before Kamala Harris lost the presidency. So that was not voting for Kamala did not change. Maybe I misunderstood that, but why the fuck are we talking about Kamala Harris voting right now? What does that have to do with anything? Are we trying to impress the continuing genocide that would have clearly started before when she was the vice president anyway? There was not a Republican in charge, and the genocide started, and they did nothing about it for a fucking year. Not a fucking thing. Remember, we kept thinking that they would go in and do something. We were thinking it was going to be an October surprise that they were going to fucking end it, and then they did nothing because they're pro-genocide. They are. And so people didn't want to vote for Kamala Harris because fuck it. That's reasonable. It sucks, and I fucking hate it. I hate it, but like that is what they wanted to do with their vote. Am I pissed about it? Yes. I fucking hate that people didn't vote. It has made my life harder. But if they would have voted for her, nothing would have changed for the Gazans. We fucking know that because she was already the vice president. The guy that was the president didn't do shit that she worked for. She wasn't out there like, oh fuck, I just Joe. The second Joe's out of the fucking way, I'll fucking. She could have smothered him with a pillow. You know what I mean? She could have fucking tripped him going down the stairs and put him in the fucking hospital and stopped the genocide with presidential magic that I guess Hutch thinks exists. But that wouldn't have fucking done anything about the fucking entire Senate and the House that we also... Did we lose the House and the Senate? I can't remember if we lost everything, but I think we lost the House by a slim margin. We lost that. So what about that? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, those are down ballot votes. Maybe that can be accounted for by the lack of people that showed up for Kamala Harris. Even in the worst, where I believe that was even completely the fucking annihilation part of the vote. Yeah, it was fucking irritating that it fucking happened. But also, like, who gives a fuck? None of that is fucking Hassan's fault, okay? The future president of the United fucking States of America should be, to some degree, more convincing that they should be president than fucking Hassan can do. You know what I mean? Like, they should be more convincing, like, hey, you should actually vote for me. Don't listen to this fucking dipshit. He's from Turkey. Like, you should be able to do that. Like, Kamala Harris vied for the position of the most powerful person on earth, as far as we're concerned in this country, and she failed. She failed. That's it. I don't really care that much about some fucking paltry million fucking voters maybe that came from Hassan's audience in the most extreme sci-fi novel version of events. You know, she should have convinced them. She should have done something, but she didn't. She barely had me fucking supporting.
More irresponsible, frankly, than the idea that he said positive any time. I mean, look, you do a show Sam, 4 hours a day. He does a show 5 or, as far as I can tell, 15 hours a day. And to focus in on that one tiny clause.
This is not one tiny clip, Sam. Well, you don't know. This is a totality of behavior.
But you
and by the way, it's easy, and I appreciate that you can hand wave it away and say that it doesn't.
No, I'm not hand waving it away.
Well, you kind of are.
And understand, I also said when I was irritated about it, I'm still only irritated about down ballot races. That was the biggest, that still to this day, that was the most irritating thing to me, because my biggest concern is our lack of focus on local elections, which is still this. This is pretending like we're it's all doomerism and shit. Donald Trump's fucking God King now because of this, and Hassan's the fault, and actually Israel's kind of like got a point, I guess. You know, this is trash. God, 20th fucking place. I'm not caring at all. Look at this. Look at this. My matchmaking skill is going down. I gotta let this go.
You're saying,
you are though.
You're saying actually I'm wrong for caring about it.
No, yes. In fact, I'm saying this conflation is incredibly dangerous. It is disingenuous.
I think it's dangerous to ignore what's being described as dehumanizing violent language for American Jews that have nothing to do with the war.
That is a complete mischaracterization of that.
It's not.
Oh my God. He never says the word Jews.
He says a neo.
Listen, how many?
He doesn't. Owned. Absolutely obliterated. He doesn't. Ethan Klein massaged the quote once, literally in the same fucking breath that he introduced it, and then now he's doing the same thing again. Hassan said Zionist tendencies, i.e. the tendency to fucking want to make Zion, i.e. a fucking Jewish ethno-state founded on genocide. That is it. That is it, which is something that is desired by non-Jews to a much higher fucking extent and percentage than by Jews. But it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Trust me, because that's why we're supporting them. Zionist tendencies are exhibited by John Fetterman, not a Jew. They are exhibited by Chuck Schumer, a Jew. They are exhibited by Kamala Harris, not a Jew. They are exhibited by Joe Biden, not a Jew. Joe Biden, not a Jew. Like, it's a bad thing to be Zionist. It is. The continued existence of Israel requires a blood sacrifice that is not paid by the people that will get to inherit Israel when it's founded. Like that, it's a genocidal state. They're doing Lebensraum. You know what I mean? They're literally doing the Nazi thing. They are doing the Nazi thing. They are fucking mass murdering people. It is a bad place. So yes, people that display tendencies toward that are bad people. They should be prevented from reaching the halls of office. Prevented from running, in fact. Yeah, sure, actually. I would say that anybody that displays genocidal tendencies or speaks on behalf favorably of an ethno-state should be fucking disregarded politically and probably imprisoned in certain respects, because they are people without value or worth to society in general. They only exist to manipulate and destroy things. So yeah, actually no, that's not only fucking accurate, but based as fuck. And he never says Jews. But fucking Ethan has to go and massage the quote there, because he's got fucking Loner Box of Destiny in his fucking earpiece right now, doing poofy shit. I'm surprised he can fucking hear them talk over all of the slurping and felching that's happening. But that's what's going on. He's literally arguing for Matt. And then all of this is just so that you can have Hutch over here suck up donos so that he can pay his fucking rent this month and fucking nod along. Literally just nodding along to genocidal talking points. It's unironically fucking pathetic. Like, this is disgraceful behavior. And then trying to blame some fucking dipshit for the entirety of the loss. A part of it? Sure. Yeah. Was fucking Hassan's messaging around the fucking election perfect? No. You know who else wasn't? The fucking bitch who lost. First and foremost. Absolutely the person that didn't fucking win the election. Also, us. Also, me. My fucking messaging wasn't perfect around the election, and I don't have anywhere near that size of the fucking platform. Hutch, you didn't manage to fucking talk anybody out of it. You didn't fucking build your platform. You didn't fucking do enough outreach to change the fucking... So you failed too. We all fucking came up short, and now we're fucking living with this, but instead of trying to figure out a path forward through understanding the realities of the situation, we're blaming fucking dipshits and nobodies and hyperfixating on people that are upset about a specific problem and not on people that are causing it, which are the elected officials who were the most fucking staunch supporters of Israel, who are the most staunch supporters of anti-fucking worker activities, who are the most staunch supporters of just constantly kicking the fucking can down the road and accomplishing fucking nothing, doing nothing, do nothing fucking Dems, even we call them that, in the most moderate sections of the Democratic Party. Chuck Schumer literally leads with his hands in his pockets, which he doesn't deserve because he's never worked a fucking day in his life. He's a pathetic fucking schlub, and he runs the Senate. He runs the Senate when we have a majority, and he does not whip the votes to benefit me. People see that. They see his failures as the Senate leader, the Senate majority fucking leader, the Senate minority leader, replicated in the people underneath him. People see Nancy Pelosi enriching herself and failing and being pro-Israel, getting in fucking AOC's ear when AOC tried to fight back against literally tried to throw out a fucking protest vote against fucking funding Israel's goddamn genocide back in the day. Just a little earlier bit of genocide, pre-genocide. A little bit of genocidal pre-action. That's just over-the-shirt genocide. People were pissed about that shit. And fucking... They see that replicated in Kamala Harris, and people are exhausted. We were always going to get exhausted. The point of kicking the can down the road as a fucking thing that you don't do is because eventually you fucking actually do run out of energy to do it. You actually do run out of fucking political will. You actually do eventually come to a position where you're like, no, I'm not fucking doing it anymore because I can't. I cannot give a shit about this fucking bullshit anymore. I cannot fucking support another person with their fucking dumbass. Oh, hold on. Jesus Christ. Their dumbass fucking half measures over and over and over again. I'm done with it. We were always going to hit that point. And the Republicans don't, because the Republicans have a fucking core base of sociopaths, okay? Who stand to lose nothing no matter which way an election goes. So they don't give a fuck because they don't understand anything about this shit. They don't get it. And they don't fucking care. We were always going to arrive at this point, and you trying to pretend like it's fucking Hassan Piker's fault as opposed to any fucking body else is absolutely fucking absurd. It's absurd as shit. I don't fucking like the guy that much. Okay? I know I could be fucking making so much goddamn fucking extra cash covering this shit. Oh, he's fucking hiding. How the hell is he there? I could be making so much more fucking cash trying to become a fucking Hassan orbiter and sucking his fucking dick and jumping in on that shit. But I fucking stay with my fucking criticisms of the guy. And I want him to change a lot of aspects of his personality and his messaging. But even I have to fucking take myself away from that because I have lazy fucks like you sucking up goddamn dono money to fucking literally nod along to genocidal talking points and set us up for the next failed election. Because nothing about what you're saying is going to get people to go vote. No one wants to vote for loser candidates, and no one wants to be inspired to vote by losers like you who want to talk about losing and be fucking losers on Maine. You're a fucking loser, man. You're a fucking loser. You're a loser talking about a loser fucking who lost. Just talking about how you wish your loser fucking ideas could be pitched again and would have won if only they weren't fucking losers. Everyone else made me fucking lose. That's a loser fucking mentality. I'm disgusted by you as another political commentator. I'm actually fucking legitimately irritated by the fucking behavior you're displaying in this video. You're pathetic. And I fucking despise you for what you're doing right now. You disgust me. Man to man, you disgust me. American to American, you are a fucking pathetic leech. Jesus fucking Christ.
Members of Kufi have positive feelings.
Well,
towards
let me see.
How many millions of members of Kufi, the Christian organization, have positive feelings for Jews? It is clearly not a function of their Judaism. It is not a function of their Judaism, and so it
describes most Jews.
No.
Yes, it does, Sam.
It describes most Christian evangelicals too.
It may do them too, but it also describes 73% of.
Mox, that's not permitted. I like this spot. Mods, ban Mox. What the fuck is Caillou saying now?
It's not anti-Semitism.
I don't know. What do you call it when somebody's discriminating against the vast majority of a racial or religious group, Sam?
I'm sorry.
It's not. That's not racism. You do the whole thing. You don't half-dick racism. I'll tell you right now. If you ever talk to a racist, it's just like I'll fuck every last one of them. That's right. You can usually ask, how many? What black people do you hate? They're fucking Jeremiah Jones. Boy, I fucking tell you what, I hate all of them. I hate the way they breathe. I hate the way they talk. I fucking hate every last one of them. You know, like, hey there, racist fella. What do you hate black people? I only hate about 60% of them, roughly, on an average day. Specifically, 60%. A vast majority of them I hate, but I find myself pretty moderate in my hatreds. Yeah, get fucking X gonna give it to you. On your own, X gonna deliver it to you. Knock, knock, open up the door. On me. I can't remember those fucking lyrics at all. Fucking beat this bitch ass. Beat that bitch ass.
I am here, my friend. Look beyond the veil.
Enemy here.
I am out of energy.
Fuck.
Target here.
Shields are recharging.
Here. I spy an enemy. Look out, enemy here. Quick, here.
Knock, knock! Open up the door! That's me! You fucking next, Hutch. Catch these fucking hands, I swear to God.
You want to look at evangelical Jews?
I don't care about evangelical people.
Okay, but I'm talking about the way you're constructing this.
I think
you can say the same thing about Christian evangelicals too. It is not anti-Semitism. It is not. It just isn't.
Like, taking one example in isolation, which is what we've done here.
Well, you're the one who gave it to me.
Yeah, well, I don't even want to talk about it. I disagree with you.
I'm using your example, and in that instance, that is not anti-Semitism.
Well, I disagree.
Conflation. Okay, well, that's our disagreement.
Yeah.
But I think that conflation is incredibly dangerous.
Well, I disagree as well.
Jews,
I think
it's dangerous for this society.
Come on.
Frankly, I think.
Come on. Well, I disagree. I disagree. Based on what? Why? The fact that you're not hopping in here and asking about that, why did you disagree? Disagree. Fucking Chuck Schumer with his fucking hands in his pocket ass answer. I'm doing funny. I don't know. Why can't we just live like that? Like, what the fuck? Why did you disagree? There's such a stupid fucking response, dude. I swear, I know that I can fucking hear the coaching. I know that I can fucking hear Belcher Box in that fucking room whispering into his fucking skull like worm tongue. And just tell me you don't fucking, just tell me you disagree. Make sure you stay polite. Make sure you stay polite. There's nothing bad. There's nothing worse when you're trying to support a fucking genocide than like letting your fuck calm down. Just calm down and say, calm down. Just calm down and say you disagree. Just calm down and say you disagree. Just relax and say you disagree. That's what these fucking people sound like to me. I swear to fucking God.
It's dangerous to what I perceive as hand waving what is happening here. I know you said you aren't doing that.
I'm not hand waving. This
you're doing the opposite.
Decades of thought about.
He did hand wave it.
So
no, he didn't. He literally did. Shut the fuck up.
You're saying that this is not dangerous. How dare you care about this? I think it's dangerous
I'm not saying that at all.
I personally.
Kind of. What do you mean? Come on.
Collective memory of trauma, Sam, and it starts a certain way. And it starts with people. It starts with dehumanizing language, like saying you're not fit to walk a dog. I mean, what are we doing here? It's irresponsible language.
He's not talking about Jews.
He's talking about 73% of Jewish people.
No, you said that.
No, that's a poll that's readily available.
No, yeah, literally. Yeah, a poll. Yet again, the polls. Hey, we got to go to the polls. Pokemon, go to the polls. How did that work out fucking last time? That's not specifically what he made. Hey, they're not talking about Pokemon, go to the polls. It was Hillary Clinton that did that. No, but like fucking for real, like this. There's a poll. 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 What's the fucking methodology? Who's the fucking person putting the poll together? I can't believe we're getting back into this shit so fucking much. And also, he didn't say that. He literally did not say Jews, and that fucking conflation is intentionally there to try to fucking parachute out of the conversation by saying that he's a fucking racist, and that's it. That's it. And it still wasn't the case. It was people that have Zionist tendencies. I wish that fucking Sam had fucking like fixated on that phrase like I have, because he could keep going back to it. Like, why don't you describe to me what he thinks he means by Zionist tendencies? Why don't you describe what a Zionist tendency is to me? What do you think that is? Do you think it's just a tendency to be Jewish? I mean, you can say that pretty callously, but it seems that there's a lot of people who aren't Jewish and are Zionists. So are you saying that these people are just Catholics or Christians or secular atheists that just act Jewish or something, or is it something else about them? Is it some other aspect of their personality that might be what he's fixating on by saying that that's not good? Also, he didn't say that they wouldn't be fit to walk a dog. He said they wouldn't be fit to become the dog catcher in the county, which is specifically an elected position to go catch dogs, not walk them. So you are not fit to catch a dog. Why are you changing constantly the entire verbiage of a sentence that has all of fucking 10 goddamn words in it? Why are you so dishonest? Are you scatterbrained? Are you high? Are you stupid? Are you dishonest? Why is fucking Hutch not focusing on any of this? Is Hutch on the take? Is Hutch stupid? Is he dishonest? Is he fucking like... I don't know. What happened? Did you fucking... Was your last Horcrux, your fucking final brain cell stuck somewhere in that goddamn lip piercing? Why the fuck are you so fucking incompetent when it comes to talking about this shit? If you want people to be better, you have to hold them to account when they fucking fall short of standards. That's the fundamentality of criticism. You have to know what they're trying to do and then fucking get in there. So you're not trying to improve Ethan Klein. You don't care about his actual shortcomings just as a literal messenger for his own fucking cause, which means you don't care about the fucking cause at all. You're there to do something else. And the something else thing is you're just there to attack Hassan for whatever fucking reason. In a failed way anyway. I'm telling you already right now what you need to do this better, by the way. You need to actually fucking interact with the content, you lazy bald fuck. Actually stop fucking running additional calories into your fucking rotten ass goddamn teeth. Stop chewing on fucking camera and do something. Look at me. I'm fucking literally playing this and staring at you because I'm that fucking good at video games, okay? Suck a fucking dick. I used to play fucking Call of Duty back in the day. Okay, play a real fucking game. Let me see you fucking rock Tarkov, okay? Let me see you fucking squad shooter, fucking loser. How about that? Look, this is what content is. All you're doing is sitting there being a fucking nodding head in a conversation about genocide. You're fucking pathetic, and you're going to... This kind of shit is going to get us to lose down the line, because no one is going to want to coalition build with somebody who already is fucking disposed to sucking off some fucking rando's cock because they gave you fucking 50 fucking gifted subs. Do you even have enough people fucking concurrent in your chat to take advantage of 50 fucking additional subs on top of the fucking 40 you already got? The chat's not moving fast. You're not saying anything and you're getting paid. You're on the fucking take at best. At fucking best. And it's absolutely fucking pathetic. Because of all the stuff that you say is on the fucking line for you, you clearly don't give a shit about. And I'm disgusted. I'm unironically disgusted by Hutch in this. I did not think I would be this fucking irritated. I thought it would be fun copium and him trying to fuck up. But it's actually just lazy, incompetent horse shit. It's fucking trash. Jesus fucking Christ.
Made that connection. He did not. Because we have millions upon millions of members of Kufi. We have millions upon millions in this country of evangelicals.
It blows my mind that he cares more about single
thing.
Does your dad have?
You cannot say it's anti-Semitism.
Could you
You cannot say it's anti-Semitism if you're also including millions upon millions, far more Christians than Jews.
Yes.
Would you say that your father, who you mentioned, said something to you, that he's ever in his life
Hutch,
had?
Where's your fucking response to that? Where's your Hutch? I wasn't looking directly at him. Is it him? Is he just doing this? Fucking stupid fucking face, dude. Orbiter until you die. You're somebody else's kept fucking pet. What in the fuck is that behavior?
Positive feelings about the state of Israel?
I've had positive feelings of Israel.
Whoa. Does your dad have any positive feelings about it now? Not in terms of like I support them, but like I think
positive feelings. I went to Israel on.
Okay, good. Then you're a neo-Nazi, not fit to walk a dog. How do you feel about that?
No, that's
no
you
one
saying
said that.
No, it's not. I'll play it again.
I think like
that is
this will
literally
never happen,
it. Literally,
but in a totally just world.
You can actually rewind this. I mean, if you weren't a lazy fuck stuffing your fat fucking face right now, Hutch, you would fucking rewind and just double check. You would try to be accurate. I'm playing a fucking video game right now. I'm barely fucking locked into the conversation as much as I would be if I was actually hard watching this. And I already know that he's changed up the fucking wording on that. Fucking 3-4 times at this point, to the point where it's now you're a neo-Nazi who's not allowed to walk a dog. No one ever said anything about walking a dog. It was being a dog catcher, i.e. the lowest elected position in an area or whatever the fuck. I don't even know if we have elected dog catchers anymore. But literally, yeah, you're not permitted to be in a political office because of these tendencies. You're not answering to any of that. You're literally just not even fucking checked in. You're just here to agree. It's actually pathetic. You're actually fucking disgusting and pathetic. Why are you like this?
Any kind of, regardless of your background, any kind of Zionist tendency should be treated in the same way as being a rabid neo-Nazi.
Fuck.
And you shouldn't even let someone be the local dog catcher as Felix was posting. If they've ever exhibited
this new Hutch
any sort of like positive feelings about the state of Israel. I'm so serious about this.
Another thing he's doing, by the way, and Hassan is
listen.
He plays around with the term Zionists, right?
You can say that's a wrong thing to say, but he's not talking about Jews.
Hutch needs to actually say less.
Talking about people who have exhibited these positive feelings.
I mean, it's kind of encompassing.
Millions of Christians, more Christians.
Okay, well, listen, I don't think they're neo-Nazis not fit to walk dog.
Bro, my man's this is a conversation about genocide. It's one of the biggest fucking debates in the history of YouTube. And this fat fuck is stuffing his fucking suck and not talking about it at all. What a disgusting person. This is literally, if this is anything other than just trying to steal fucking content from like the majority reporters, like this is pathetic. This is actually pathetic. This is pathetic. Like, Hutch is disgusting. Look at him eating. Look at him. This little fucking monster. This little fucking demon. Just sucking down a literally, what's he eating? Chipotle right now? No, he's not even fucking, that's not even good enough for Chipotle. He's eating some fucking, like, Taco John's or some shit.
Either. I think it's insane language.
Listen, you don't want to tell me that you have never engaged in...
Dude, to be listening to a conversation that's this intense, and this is a one-at-a-time fucking, once-in-a-lifetime interaction happening for the first time between these people, and to just spend the entire time fucking eating and nodding along is actually fucking insane. You are such a fucking bitch, dude. You are, like, in the worst way. Like, not just like I'm saying the word to say it. Like, you're literally like a pocket-holding, fucking getting walked around, fucking... You're a literal prison wallet. What in the fuck is this? Oh my God.
Hyperbole. You and I both are in this business and we do that.
Yeah, you're right. I just think that,
It's, listen, you can say
I
it's
just
an
think that,
inappropriate thing
like,
to say. It's an unfair thing to say.
I just think, like, Arabs that support Israel aren't fit to walk a dog.
It is not anti-Semitism.
No one said
we're at an impasse on this one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
because
I mean,
fucking.
But anyway,
because
another thing he
Ethan's
does
lying.
is he says
The
Zionist
impasse
tendencies,
is
and
you're
he's someone that
making
plays around with
shit up,
Zionism.
and he
calls
doesn't
me a
want to agree
Zionist,
with
and
you when you
again,
make
I know
shit
we're
up.
arguing here about semantics of what Hassan said, but I don't think that you could accurately characterize me as that, as it's used colloquially. You don't know, right? But he's saying
Is it
Zionist
used
tendencies. What
colloquially?
is that?
That's okay. He's definitely been talking to commentary people. They love that. Commentary people will misuse definitions, or they'll intentionally conflate terms all the time when they have like little fucking back and forth. I was talking to FPS Diesel in an unreleased interview, and he did this too, where he's like, "Oh yeah, well, like we were using some definition for something. I can't remember what exactly it was off the top of the head." I'm like, "Well, that doesn't mean that. And he goes, "Well, colloquially." I'm like, "No, it doesn't mean that colloquially. We're using the definition that specifically I was intending to use when I said that. It doesn't colloquially mean anything else. It's employment. It was the word employment." It's like, yeah, this person wasn't employed. And colloquially speaking, no, we're not doing. No. They try to do this to conflate the value of the definition and say something completely fucking different. It's literally just lying. We used to call this lying back in the day. So like, this is what fucking Ethan is trying to do is raw lie and just say a different thing that he made up, and then say, well, colloquially, i.e., in my mind, because I'm using the word wrong. That's what colloquially means to these fucking people.
This is the worst.
What's a Zionist tendency?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're going to talk to him on Friday. You can ask him what his Zionist tendency is. I suppose I would guess. And, like I've looked at polls too, where, people have various different understandings of what Zionism is. But I think it is.
That's right.
My guess, and I don't know what he was thinking specifically, but the notion of an ethno-state that engages and allows whatever in the name of Zionism allows for this mass slaughter, I think is horrific.
Sure, me too.
Okay. I mean, then I think the three of us agree on that regard.
What?
I think we're so.
What?
Another thing is like
dude.
to take it even further. I mean, Hassan pretty much openly
Let's not
supports
talk
Hamas.
about Hassan. Let's talk about this.
Sure. I mean, what do you want to ask me?
Well, I mean, if you want to ask me about, I mean,
well, let me.
I'm not here to explore.
Yeah. I have a list of things that.
But if you want to talk about Hamas, I mean, I think look.
Well, how do you feel about Hamas?
Oh boy.
I feel that Hamas.
Oh boy. Don't do it.
People can perceive it as a liberation organization. We call them terrorists in this country. We call the ANC
What do you think
terrorists.
about them, Sam?
Oh wait. Oh yeah. You're too smart for the fucking conversation. You've been sucking down a burrito the entire time. Don't pretend like you were part of this fucking conversation, Hutch. What the fuck do you have to add? You're in the fucking audience, bro. Why are you doing the fucking anime fucking villain laugh, leaning away like you fucking had anything to do with this? You fucking tool. Oh my god, dude, this is the most pathetic. Wow, I can't believe he really said that, guys. I don't know if you know this, but Sam Sita might not be all he's quacked up to be. I think that maybe Sam Sita, maybe people have been exaggerating him a bit. I don't know if you know this, but Hamas are bad guys. Chat, tell me, do you think Hamas are bad guys? Because I don't think Sam Sita know Hamas are bad guys. This is pretty crazy. I have never heard or seen anything like this before. I don't think that Sam Sita really all he quacked up. I think maybe Sam Sita don't know that the Emperor he might not understand that he's not wearing any clothes. Fucking literally waking up from his literal lunch break in order to overreact to a fucking nuanced statement for clips for the intro. That's it. Clip farming. You're a clip farming little fucking rat fuck, dude. Bad content, bad creator. Pathetic fucking display. I'm so fucking disappointed that you have a fucking following. I don't know. Did you fucking get caught sucking a weird dick or fucking somebody that you're not supposed to fuck? Because how in the fuck do you end up this compromised and fuck completely, pathetically fucking in the pockets of other people? What disgusting display.
Listen, I think there are parts, I would imagine, of Hamas that have done good for the people in Gaza, and I think they have done bad things. But I
can't believe he said that. That's pretty crazy. I have a poll here that says
were
don't
I
like them very
Palestinian
much
and
at
I was
all.
living in Gaza, that it would be likely that.
What if you were an Israeli living in Israel? Like,
That's what Ehud Barak said on multiple occasions.
fuck you then.
And I think that is very.
Fuck you.
That is a.
oh my God, you guys.
Understanding of human nature.
Oh, he did it. He did it.
That
When
you're
you
not
are the
supporting
subject-
Israelis, by the way.
actually
Just
said-
point
oh my
out
God,
an
you guys.
inconsistency there.
I can't believe what I'm feeling.
Well, you're not. You're like I don't. I refuse to understand human
That
nature and
sucks.
their reaction. It's just evil, and I don't know how to explain it.
I didn't use the word evil.
Right. I'm inferring. Because I asked you if you think they're evil. and you
listen,
didn't really answer that.
Listen, I
avoided
don't. I don't.
Why is it so hard for lefties to just be like, Hamas?
Felt
You know, like,
on, October 8th, but toward Hamas. But I can tell you that we have there is a long history of terrorist organizations, or so-called terrorist organizations.
oh my God.
And ANC or the IR.
Oh my God!
Even the PLO.
Now, Sam, I
that
got-
ultimately become.
These were
political
leftist
I think the
And
comparison
organizations.
to the
They were leftist
is
organizations.
disingenuous, and I personally hate when people do that.
I mean, Mandela didn't think so.
Well, Mandela did think so. He explicitly stated that he avoided committing violence on the citizenry because it would make reunification impossible.
Is that okay? So, from what I understand, that is not true. And that Mandela went to jail, and then like they were like, he can get out or something if he's. That's what I heard on the other side of this. So I don't know. I don't know why the fuck Hutch would know a Mandela quote. Why would that be the case? I feel like he just agreed with that off rip. Let's see. Let's just raw see. I don't know. Is that switching up? Yeah. Okay. Give me a second. I'll switch out of here just in case. Mandela violence quote. Leaders like a shepherd, he stays behind his flock, letting the most nimble go out ahead, whereupon the others followed. Quotes about violence, A to Z quotes. No problem is so deep that it cannot be overcome, given the will of all parties through discussion and negotiation rather than force and violence. No form of violence can ever be excused in a society that wishes to call itself decent. Oh no, maybe it isn't then, but I mean, really. Safety and security don't just happen. They are the result of collective consensus and public investment. We owe our children and most vulnerable citizens in our society a life free of violence and fear. Oh, well, there you go. That's not that fucking Palestinians. I do not deny that I planned sabotage. I did not plan it in a spirit of recklessness, nor because I have any love of violence. I planned it as a result of a calm and sober assessment of the political situation that had arisen after many years of tyranny, exploitation, and oppression of my people by the whites. Oh, well, there you go. I wonder if anyone else looked up this up and didn't go too far down. That's the first ones are some of those like, I've always loved what Martin Luther King Jr. has had to say about violence. You get down here, there's some nice like cutesy quotes that you'll see on a T-shirt, and then this shit sounds like it's actually from like an interview. Nelson Mandela 2011. Nelson Mandela by himself. The authorized book of quotations. Page 47. Pan McMillan. We actually have an assessment. I do not deny that I planned sabotage based. I did not plan it in a spirit of recklessness, nor because I have any love of violence. I planned it as a result of a calm and sober assessment of the political situation that had arisen after many years of tyranny, exploitation, and oppression of my people by the whites. My man said, fuck them. We owe our children, the most vulnerable citizens in any society, a life free from violence and fear. Great anger and violence can never build a nation. There are many people who feel that it is useless and futile to continue talking about peace and nonviolence against a government whose only reply is savage attacks on an unarmed and defenseless people. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I get it. A nation can't be founded on violence quotes are not anti-violence quotes. Those are pro-planning quotes, i.e., yeah, just killing people alone doesn't mean that you can't get shit. Useless and futile to continue talking about peace and nonviolence against a government whose only reply is savage attacks on unarmed and defenseless people. When we dehumanize and demonize our opponents, we abandon the possibility of peacefully resolving our differences and seek to justify violence against them. He's completely in step with me. Our freedom is also incomplete, dear compatriots, as long as we are denied our security by criminals who prey on our communities, who rob our businesses and undermine our economy, who ply their destructive trade in drugs in our schools, and who do violence against our women and children. Force is the only language the imperialists can hear, and no country can become free without some sort of violence. Hey, yo! You have to dig past the 3 T-shirt quotes to get to Nelson Mandela said, like, oh no, but if they're fucking around. He said, oh no, but if they're fucking around.
That's something he said.
I think you can say that tactically speaking. Listen,
by the way, Sam, in the totality of their campaign,
so
I think
Hutch is
under
just wrong.
200
Hutch
civilians
just lied.
died. And
Hutch just lied to his audience. He lied to you.
Almost all held accountable.
He had no idea. Why would Hutch
did.
know what fucking Nelson
That's
Mandela
a difference.
said?
Did very little targeted acts that killed civilians.
Well, it is a significant difference. I mean, I imagine
Mandela favored a policy of sabotage, going after military targets, government targets.
Atrocities on October 7th are dead.
Still violence.
And so
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, that's accountability.
I can't believe you've done this.
But
I mean, being held accountable by the party that they're presumably doing the violence on behalf. Like,
but you're saying the entire ANC was held accountable?
No, I was saying Nelson Mandela's party, if someone killed a civilian, they would hold them accountable. They would charge them. They would disavow
The ANC was a leftist organization.
Well,
Hamas is a theocratic, violent, extremist, authoritarian
throughout Ireland. I mean, the
group.
We have
want to call them whatever.
The Stern Gang. When they killed, over 100.
The IRA were a leftist organization. They were.
The history is
focused on liberation, like actual liberation. Am I making that up? Was the IRA not leftist?
I'll tell you.
People look at South Africa.
I do not condone the killing of civilians, which is why
we're primarily Marxist in its political orientation.
I'm upset about what Israel is doing.
Sure. The part that I don't like about people say, I feel like people sweep for Hamas by saying, like, what do you expect, right? But the truth is that
it's
people
really sweeping for Hamas. That's sweeping for all fucking terrorism. It's not really even sweeping. That's good advice. Like, I'm a guy that actually fucking scrapped with fucking idiots that did terrorism, right? Like, I did that fight. And the thing is yeah, man, what do you expect? If you keep fucking kicking, even a worm will turn is an ancient saying. Even the worm will turn. Because, dude, people can't take too much. And if they don't fucking find some sort of relief from oppression and oppressive fucking hostilities, and people beating the fucking shit out of them all the time, yeah, they'll fucking get up to some crazy stuff. And they'll fucking do a terrorism. They will. That's why you have to not treat people like shit and engage in fucking apartheid and can kicking. Because eventually people will see terrorism as a fucking means to an end. And that end is their own personal fucking salvation. And it's not just a matter of we're all fucking going to be Hamas now. They're just going to say you know what? I'll give Hamas $10. I'll fucking look the other way when someone says, hey, where did that Hamas guy go? You know what I mean? I'm not going to fucking raise my voice if fucking Hamas goes and blows up a bus of their kids. My kids died the other day. That's what it is. Yeah, you created a fucking situation where you're murdering people so fucking much, so constantly, consistently, that they're yeah, fucking, you know what? Fuck it. Terrorism. Fuck it. Fuck yeah. Fuck it, terrorism. Why not? Let's do it. Ooh, Jesus Christ, they did not make it at all.
South Africa as an example, but what South Africa shows is that
you horrible comparison.
Need to commit a violent war against civilians to liberate yourself.
Horrible comparison.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean,
no, it's not. Why?
Listen, we had for a year, we had the Great March of Return, where Sinwar himself was
also like the IRA were whatever they were, many other different things, but one of the first and foremost things they were is Catholic. The fucking the major aspect of the fucking war, as far as I know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but a major aspect of the war between the IRA, or the ongoing conflict between the IRA. Oh wait, no, I want to click. Yeah, dude. Fuck that shit. I like my fucking 3 times. A major aspect of the ongoing conflicts in Ireland in general was that between Catholics and Protestants. Catholics and Protestants. So it was absolutely, there was a religious aspect to the war. And any religious aspect of any war comes with a religious authoritarianism. Like, you're literally saying, my religion should be permitted to exist, or my religion should be in charge of the other religions. Otherwise, you're saying you have a good thing, it's a good thing to be Catholic. You should be Catholic, and to be Catholic is not a simple thing. You don't just wake up one day and be like, hey, I'm fucking. Are you cool with it? You got to fucking be baptized, and then ultimately confirmed after a series of religious lessons. You have to take the fucking. You have to openly say that you believe in the transubstantiation of the body and blood of Jesus Christ. You have to reconcile your sins with a fucking a fucking clothed member of the clergy, and then you have to fucking confirm yourself as a member of the Catholic Church through ceremony and take on a Catholic name. Like, it's not a light thing to do. That's what they were fighting for. So, like, there is a major religious aspect of it. It was between fucking Catholics and Protestants, but also for other different reasons as well. There's no true separation of the secular need from the religious need without an actual institution of that in some sort of constitutional document. That's why America literally states that we have a fucking separation of church and state. And people are constantly trying to fucking break that separation all the fucking time. It's because it's impossible to separate the secular aspects of your life from the religious aspects of your life. So yeah. I'm a fucking hardliner Catholic or some shit fighting for the fucking IRA back in the day. But like, yeah, man, I go to fucking church. Okay, I pay my fucking tithes. They're probably more Catholic than any other person I've ever seen in my fucking life. You know what I mean? God damn. Hypercolor, $10. The rise of militant extremist factions is a direct result of being invaded, occupied, under siege. Also true as well. Sustained conflict and deprivation do a series of things that are actually predictable every time. It's actually routinely predictable. Birth rates will skyrocket in times of hardship. Deaths from avoidable issues will. Violence will. Domestic violence will skyrocket. Not because the people are more attuned to domestic violence, just because PTSD rates go up. And PTSD is a fucking comorbidity with a series of issues like addiction and domestic violence and all sorts of other things that people will blame people for. Rash outbursts, extreme religiosity. All of those are comorbidities with fucking PTSD. Trust me, I know a bunch of guys with PTSD who have been in and out of jail for domestic violence and domestic disputes, and they've been in trouble with drugs. And a lot of them have picked up hyper-religion. It's a PTSD thing, and the PTSD comes from waking up and seeing your fucking little brother, who is 8 and you're 10, turned into a gigantic fucking Rorschach test on the side of a fucking preschool wall. Whoopsie daisy. I'm glad I slept in, so I'm alive, but now I'm really guilty because my fucking kid brother's dead. I don't know. I have nowhere to seek solace except for in the warm embrace of Allah, and that's pretty much the only thing holding my fucking life together right now. Okay, yeah, well, watch out. These guys are theocrats. They're theocrats. Like, dude, who gives a fuck? Everybody's a fucking theocrat these days. I live in a fucking country run by theocrats. All of the people that support fucking Israel are theocrats. Israel is a fucking literal apartheid state based on a single religion and ethnicity. And it's to the point where they don't even permit derivations. They're being less permissive every day of derivations that stray from the Zionist stream. They don't like fucking, damn it. They don't like fucking, what do you call it? In Israel. They don't like Yiddish. They're like, Yiddish is disappearing because they speak Hebrew, not Yiddish. So that cultural fucking aspect is going away because it doesn't fucking comport with the existence of Zionism. Zionism is a fascism. It's fascist state. It is a theocratic state. If fucking Judaism actually had a theocratic organization, that's what it would look like. Muslim nations can't really be truly theocratic. It's kind of a thing specifically for Christian derivative nations too, because we actually have a top-down creation of churches and stuff. So like we can sort of have theocracies in Islam, but you always have imams and people, and that's why you have fucking you don't have religious leaders, even though you don't have caliphs. There's no caliph that's in fucking charge of fucking Saudi Arabia, of Qatar. Those places, they have high-level religious leaders. There's fucking like, whatever the fuck, whoever's in charge, but it's a hereditary monarchy. The same thing would probably pop up in Palestine in the worst possible case, is that you would have some sort of hereditary monarchy, because the theocratic aspect of it only kind of exists for us because we put in kings that are instilled by God and then worship them. They fucking all answer to Rome. We don't even really do that anymore. There's heavily religious aspects of it, yeah, sure, but that's not specific to fucking Islam. We do that. We want that in America right now. The right wants that. It's not a fucking Muslim thing. It's not even necessarily a pure Palestinian thing. It's not even necessarily a thing that Hamas would be able to do if they seized power, because the second the fucking conflict goes away, the desire for theocratic hardliners and extreme opposition to a fucking opposing violent force diminishes. You know what I mean? It's fucking stupid. It's a stupid fucking point based on a complete either intentional or fucking incompetent misreading of the entire situation.
Involved in that. There was Palestinians marching on a regular basis over the course of the year. I don't know how many it was, 50 or whatever, that were innocent people who went there, and
Hasn't
snipers
Iran got a religious leader who runs the country? No, he's like the second highest guy, and they replaced the other one. It's like sort of, but kind of, but no. Iran's fucking leadership is weird as shit too. They have a major religious authority, right? And that's, first off, that shit only exists because we fucking fucked with their goddamn, we destroyed the democratic project inside of Iran so that we could try to destabilize the country, and we put the Shah of Iran in fucking charge of everything, and then he was rightfully overthrown by people. And they maintained their extremely fucking aggressive religious state after the fact because we maintained a fucking gigantic series of trade embargoes against them. They basically exist in a sub-famine state at all times, along with most Middle Eastern nations, because we've decided that religious organization of a fucking country is only permissible if it's specifically the one kind of Jew we like in Israel or some variant of Christian. Hopefully one of the ones that we're fucking A-okay with, right? And not too papisty. Otherwise, no. Muslims are not allowed to run their own country, and if we could, we tried to get in and fucking take all the Buddhists out in their fucking country, but they fucking crept all up into the fucking trees and started shooting the shit out of us. Except for the fucking Japanese, I guess. We beat them. Fucking goofities.
Shooting down unarmed civilians. And so, time and time again, and over the course of the 20 years that I've been professionally, covering this, my attitude towards Israel's willingness to have peace has changed, and my understanding of it has changed. And I can only imagine how more intense that feeling is to be.
My understanding is that there were acts of violence throughout the Great March of Return.
The Warsaw Ghetto, insofar as you don't have access to resources, you have 50% unemployment.
The Warsaw Ghetto is another horrible
in terms of the West Bank
comparison. But the Warsaw Ghetto, the Warsaw Uprising, they did not target civilians.
I can't imagine that my response wouldn't be to pick up a weapon.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know.
It's not really working out.
Well, none of it's working out, is it?
No, not much at all.
Not
really much at all.
It's called the greatest attack on Israelis in 75 years. The notion of Zionism, the way that Israel is organized as a society, is not protecting Jews.
Well,
it's not protecting Israelis. It's not protecting Jews worldwide. It is. There may have been a time where Zionism had and there were certainly proponents of Zionism in the early 20th century, in the late, perhaps late 19th century, where there was a notion of a multi-ethnic democracy.
By the way, Hypercolor, if you left the super chat, I didn't.
Folks like Hannah Arendt and Einstein, left the Zionist Congress.
Is Hamas interested in a multi-ethnic democracy?
What it's evolved into is, I think, a nightmare for everyone involved. And so, I don't know how I would react in that type of commiseration, frankly.
Well, can I ask you?
But again, Ehud Barak said that he would pick up a weapon were he one of them. And
that's fine.
He's far closer to the conflict than I am.
I'm not saying I don't understand why people pick up weapons. Right?
I think you do. I think you are.
So let me ask you this. What do you think about October 7th attack?
Oh, my God.
What do I think about it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was horrific.
Mm-hmm. And this was like a military action by Hamas to what end?
I mean, I suspect
we're trying to provoke a larger conflict.
I don't know what the.
I mean, why the fuck how? I don't even know if I would entertain that on Sam's side. How the fuck should I know? I wasn't in the fucking room with them. I think it was a massive act of incompetence on their part. I think Hamas are a bunch of fucking morons. Goddamn entire fucking region's full of idiots. But who the fuck knows? I don't give a shit. I don't fucking care why they did it at this point. They shouldn't have. It was an act of terror that accomplished fucking nothing. It made them look like fucking assholes, okay? And it caused a gigantic fucking reflection of violence in turn, okay? It was a stupid fucking thing to do, and it was an evil fucking thing to do. Nothing about it remotely justifies anything about the way that the fucking Israelis reacted after the fact. Not a goddamn thing. Dude, I can't fucking hit a single shot right now. I got that one. That reg, that seems like a late reg. It's stupid as fuck, dude. It's hyperfixation. Yeah, oh, we're gonna disavow Hamas. Disavow Hamas. Dude, fuck Hamas. Fuck October 7th. I don't give a fuck, dude. That shit was over a fucking year ago. And there's way more people dead after the fact. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. You ran out of my sympathy. Fuck them. Fuck their families. Fuck the dead people at this point. I don't fucking care. Why the fuck are you bringing them up? Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? It's like saying, like, oh man, like, wow, dude, the Haditha massacre just happened. Some guys just shot some kid under a fucking bed and fucked up our goddamn reputation in the area forever. Oh yeah, well, what about 9/11? How do you feel about 9/11? Why do you think I called it? Al Qaeda did 9/11. Who gives a fuck? What the fuck are you fucking talking about? Somebody shot a kid under a bed. Who the fuck cares? The fuck are you fucking talking about? Be a fucking adult. Why are you talking about unrelated shit? I don't know if it's unrelated. It seemed to have started the conflict off. Okay, well, it started off. Some guy came into your house and he fucking shot your dog. Okay, and then you went to his house and fucking burned it down, and then you started killing. He's dead, and now you're killing his neighbors and people that are down the street, and also some random other fuckers in other fucking countries. Like, dude, that bunny hop shit. That person's fucking. Dude, I am putting that. Dude, was that bead not on their face? I'm gonna have to watch this shit back.
The strategy was
they wanted a war.
Attacked 2 military bases. I don't know if they were aware of that the dance.
The Nova rave.
Yeah, I don't know if they knew that rave was happening.
From what I saw, the Hamas guys didn't plan to survive the initial attack on the military position, and then just kept going with no plan. Well, that's incompetence. You shouldn't have fucking done that.
Happening. I suspect it was to derail the Abraham Accords, which were going to leave the Palestinians out of the equation, where an authoritarian
you leave out that they attacked Kibbutzim, by the way.
No, yes, of course they did. But I'm saying that they, I don't know what the strategy was.
Well, okay, so what do you think would you expect the response of Israel would be to that?
Look at this shit, dude. He got fucking trained up. This is not Ethan Klein. Ethan Klein does not sit with his fucking hands folded with a suit in it. He looks like someone's shitty lawyer. He looks like a guy that's trying to fucking I guess literally he is just fucking trying to fucking downplay an assault.
I had no doubt.
Liberals sound like Bush and
that day.
They're not even fucking liberals at this point. I don't know what the fuck they stand for. Like, I literally just don't even know. I don't even call them a liberal at this point because I don't know what the fuck they actually stand for. None of this is freedom. None of this has anything to do with liberty or democracy. These standpoints are just fascism. Hutch's entire standpoint is just fascism. It's polishing the fucking knob for raw fascism in a different country that affects my rights here. A liberal would hate Israel. Because Israel uses money to influence our elections, you would hate them. If you are a liberal, you would hate them. They are anti-freedom. They are doing a genocide. If you're a liberal, you hate Israel. Based on the fundamental foundational values of liberalism, of personal freedom and accountability. Like, those ideals do not mesh with the existence of a state like Israel or the actions that Israel fucking engages in that are completely unignorable right now. And also, the other foundational liberal ideals of fucking analysis and sober critique are not being displayed here. This is one-sided fucking team sports extremism on the part of fucking Ding Dong here. He is just doing team sports extremism, which, hey, that is what it is, but that's not a liberal standpoint. You're supposed to be a fucking aloof, aware moderate moderate in your opinions and in your disposition toward delivering them. None of that is happening here. This guy's not even a fucking liberal. He's not even a fucking lib. He's just a fascist.
We must act.
He's a fascist who's too cucked to fucking admit it. Do you know what I mean? Like that, fuck. I can't fucking get any goddamn shit on target. Like this is not
Like a more appropriate question would
It's
be
not even that.
respond?
Go insane. Yeah, right. It was going to be horrific. We all knew.
Yes, but I think I think the lack of proportionality was just beyond, frankly, and I was aware that this was going to be a horror show, but I don't think I had the level of awareness of what they would do to go in and literally level it, destroy, what is it, 80-90% of the structures in Palestine, bomb hospitals, that they would use.
Well, Hamas did know that because that's why they attacked.
Food as a weapon.
I'm more interested in like the justification for what they're doing
probably
there.
Took hostages with.
Dude, he's desperate for a fucking clip. Obviously desperate for a clip. I'll speak. I know you don't have anything to say for Hutch because I guess your mouth is full right now. You know what I mean?
The idea
but
that
he's just hunting for a clip. That's all that is. I'm looking for some sort of justification for Hamas's attack. There's no justification for it. It was a fuck up. I understand the rationale behind it, but there's no justification. This is another fucking conflation of terms that fucking the Destiny crowd enjoys. There is no justification for it because it's a fucking military attack. If it does the thing that the attack should do and you know what that is, then it's justified. If it doesn't do those, then it's not justified. You know what I mean? It's an unjustified act of terrorism in most respects. Killed too many civilians, didn't accomplish any specific goals, and led to a mass retaliation that fucking destroyed your organization. It's an unjustified attack. I understand the rationale behind the attack. Okay, whatever. You're pissed off at Israel. You're gonna start fucking cracking dudes. Maybe there's some additional aspects to it that people that want to fucking massage it want to talk about. It doesn't matter. You killed civilians. There's no reason to kill civilians. It doesn't fucking accomplish any goals. If you want to revel in the death of civilians because they're on the opposite team of you, I can't stop you from doing that, but you should shut the fuck up. That's a moronic thing to do. That's a pro-terror standpoint, as in just pro-terror for terror's sake. You're ass mad. You're not going to get anything done. Nelson Mandela would actually have criticism for that specifically, given the quotes we looked at. But no, there is no justification for the attack. It's impossible to justify. I don't know what their fucking aims were in the attack. All I know is that the ultimate fucking result of the attack, insufficient to justify anything that they could have accomplished.
Let's land here. I'm
they would be able to negotiate.
I understand why they took hostages. I don't understand why they took children and elderly.
I believe that they probably
did end the Abraham Accords.
This is all conjecture on my part. That they would be able to trade them as a way to inhibit Israel's what they're doing, and I don't even imagine that. I'm not going to. I'm not going to endorse Hamas's strategy here.
Well, I'm just trying to flesh it out here because
he really wants to.
What I'm getting to is Hamas. I think they knew that this was the reaction that would happen. You know?
I can't imagine that they assumed that there would be this level of destruction.
I mean, that's why they hate Israel. I don't think they underestimate how violent the IDF can be. You know what I mean? That's why they attacked. I certainly underestimated that they would go this far. Use I didn't think they go this far, but
bomb hospitals and shoot EMTs and have rules of engagement like this. I mean, I think Hamas is certainly up to criticism for their strategy here.
I think that's an understatement.
Well, I mean, if that's they're
a terrorist organization that intentionally antagonized the IDF to come mass slaughter their civilians.
I think that if they overestimated whether Israel cared about the hostages, without a doubt. I mean, there's I don't know that there would be anybody who would make
there's literally nothing that fucking Hamas has done that justifies what Israel did. Nothing. Not a single thing. Not a literal single thing. Not a single person that was murdered, raped, set on fire. Not a single dead baby. Not a single fucking child. Not a single fucking thing actually justifies any of that. That's why I say the same thing in the opposite direction about Hamas. It doesn't justify it because it doesn't fix it. Killing children does not fix people's attitudes towards your operations. It does not develop freedom. Like I'm Nelson Mandela spitting now that I read some of his fucking quotes. You can't found nations on that kind of violence. That it doesn't work because you'll only want more of it. I say these same things all the time. Literally, the fucking Kojima fucking vibe, all right? None of that justifies anything. It's a pointless. I would just say you're The shit you're saying is pointless. Who gives a fuck? I don't fucking care. I don't care what Hamas did. We're talking about we're talking about Israel. Hamas has been fucked up pretty bad. I don't know if they're going to come back. I don't know if they're going to be gone forever. It doesn't really matter because nothing that they do justifies bombing a hospital. Not a single fucking thing. There is no military necessity to bomb a hospital. It's never existed. The military necessity that you dreamed up is fake. I know because I was in the military and we fucking heard about not doing that, right? You're not allowed to fucking drum up a reason to bomb a hospital because there's almost never going to be a single fucking thing. What if our guys are getting shot at from it? Leave. It's a fucking hospital. Okay, they control the hospital now. It's theirs. It's their hospital. You don't bomb hospitals. You don't bomb hospitals. Not a single fucking thing. You bomb multiple hospitals. You fuck killing goddamn. Or the doctors are fucking fixing them. Yeah, the doctors do that. You don't shoot medics. Fucking Israel is shooting medics. Israel is beyond the pale and beyond any sense of forgiveness for the fucking depravity that they have committed in service of no justifiable aims and no thing that is actually going to succeed in accomplishing anything. They're just fucking, it's sunk cost fallacy with sociopaths and people that are fucking dick-sucking sociopaths like fucking Hutch here. It's absolutely fucking insane that you would even say that. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? I don't fucking care what Hamas did anymore. That's over. That shit was fucking over a fucking year ago, and there's dead kids in the streets in Gaza. There's dead kids in the streets in Gaza. There's dead kids in the streets in Gaza, and Hamas is not fucking killing them. Hamas doing something over a year ago did not kill those kids. It literally did not. There is no justification that exists in this fucking earth for killing children for a military objective. Not a one. Trust me, I was in the military. They can't, unless the kid is literally fucking trying to shoot you with a machine gun and you think he can actually fucking hit you before he runs out of ammo and you just brick him in the face with a fucking rock, no reason to kill a kid. None at all. Fucking child soldiers is a whole different fucking thing and an even bigger sense of depravity than any of the other shit. Glad I never fucking ran into them. But like, god fucking damn it, dude. This is such a disgusting thing to do because we're just trying to justify depravity. That's all we're doing. We're just trying to say, he hit me first. He hit me first. Okay, this is like literally like, you think two wrongs make a right here? Because these are incompatible with any fucking military objective you think exists. This will do nothing. It will do nothing. It will do nothing. It will do nothing to fix any of the issues. It will only make people hate you more. It made me fucking actually figure out what the fuck is going on in Israel. Israel's own thing is falling back, is fucking blowing up in their face even worse. I mean, like, literally, think about it. Who likes Israel? Rape reviewers, fucking divorced dads, pedophiles, sex assault, people, sex criminals and shit. Like, the most disgusting people are on your side because they're the people that want you to take sides without thinking, and that's what fucking Israel wants. They want you to just have gut reactions to shit and take people's sides without thinking. And what fucking Ethan Klein's pissed off is that people aren't fucking just taking a side without thinking. And now he's sunk cost fallacy because he might have to admit the fact that he is pro-dead kids. That's what it is. Oh, I'm sorry, he didn't say it specifically. You don't have to say it specifically. He's been reading into every little tiny fucking thing the entire time. But you can't do it in the opposite direction when it actually fucking is real. Jesus Christ.
Case that this is what was their plan to have Israel respond in this way. That's absurd.
Well, and the same is true of, like, I guess Israel.
They were wanting Hezbollah and Iran and the Houthis to help them in war. That's why
they didn't think that their mission would be as successful as it was. On the other hand,
I have no doubt that they did not think that they would
they attacked a fucking music festival to get the Houthis to help them. They could have asked. What do you mean? That was that's what Hutch just said, right? What? There you go. Give me just a second. I got mixed up. All right, I'm gonna listen to a little bit more.
It was a Hail Mary because the Abraham Accords made them feel like the world would forget about the Palestinian problem,
et cetera, was perfect and something we should emulate in this country. I mean, Trump was all talking about that. So I have no doubt that Hamas overestimated.
or overestimate the IDF. Yeah, I got
what they would be able to.
Yeah, I'm good. I've heard the rest of it. Hutch clearly isn't going to say shit during this. He's barely talked. I mean, eating a fucking hot dog the entire time or some shit. I'm good. We should do final thoughts. I gotta turn this off and go to bed so that I can wake up tomorrow and try to install a fucking vent stack before I have to leave. Oh my god. That was pathetic. Pathetic. At this point, it's just it's pro-genocide horseshit from people that don't give a fuck. They either don't care or they relish in the death, I guess. Maybe fucking Hutch gets a fucking hard-on for this shit. Maybe he's just stupid. It seems like a lot of people just fucking hate Hassan and they can't get over their dislike of one dipshit long enough to say that, like, I don't know, fucking murdering kids is bad. You know what I mean? The Israeli counter-terror strategy is literally just a live, raw, and uncut example of the worst shit the U.S. got accused of during the height of the Iraq invasion, and it's depressing these motherfuckers never connect that fact. No, especially for liberals, because liberals used to be fucking anti-war. Hardcore anti-war, right? They used to irritate me, because it's like, you know, they're fucking like peacenik motherfuckers. This shit is so beyond the pale of anything that has... I don't shy away from talking about American war crimes. If I know about them and they happened, I'll cop to it. They shouldn't happen. War crimes are bad. They're bad because they're bad in a general sense, right? And they're bad because they're bad. They're bad strategy. They don't work. We've established this. This isn't my opinion. This is why the fucking Geneva Conventions and the Bern Conventions and all the not Bern, fuck whatever, the one that's about bullets instead. It's why these were all put together, is because the first person to suggest the things that became the Geneva Conventions was not some peacenik fucking college professor. It was not some fucking concerned hand-wringing mother. It was not some fucking like smarmy Bill Maher fuck. It was a general. It was a guy who had seen combat, who had led men into combat, and who understood that the asks that come down from politicians and the things that they want you to do because they think are going to win the fight don't work. They don't work. It's why the codes of chivalry were invented back in the day. It's why every fucking long-lived nation has come up with rules of conduct for combat that they are supposed to follow, if not the other people, because it helps you actually win. It helps you achieve victory states that last. If you engage in war crimes, they're crimes because they are unforced errors of action that will haunt you. They will delegitimize your victory. They will energize counterforces against you. They will get people to join up against you. You can see it happening in Israel right now. They had a full-blown, one of the most, if not the most powerful propaganda outlet in the entirety, or system, operation, I guess, in the entirety of the Western hemisphere, you know what I mean? The Western sphere of influence was from Israel. People that should not give a fuck about or know where Israel is on a map rely on it to fucking put their kids through college. That's how much money fucking comes out through that place. Even with that in place, with organizations on the ground in other countries literally designed to get you to stop talking about and not notice Israel. They have fucked this up so fucking bad on a routine basis for more than a year and a half alone for this thing at all, that they've completely annihilated any goodwill. It is now becoming a political liability to support Israel, which it needs to be because they are fucked. People that were normally like, well, you know, it takes two to tango, myself included, are not. You cannot look at it and see anything else. To the point where it's like, I feel humiliated by not being more aggressive about this earlier in my fucking life. Like, I always was like, well, you guys seem like you're fucking cunts to these fucking Palestinian people, but I can't see what's going on because they paid billions of dollars to put a veil between their horrific actions and the rest of the world. And even through that veil, you can smell the fucking rotting carcasses of the dead people inside of this fucking kill zone. And now, there is no remote reason to defend anything that Israel has ever done. None. There is no reason. It accomplishes nothing for you. That's one of the biggest things. Callously. let's step away from the moral aspect of it. It accomplishes nothing for you. No one gets anything unless you're being paid money. No one gets anything from supporting Israel. Not even Israelis, because Israelis are going to have to live in Israel, which is not going to achieve its goal of genocide. It's impossible. Achieving genocide is impossible, right? Because first off, the kind of people that pursue genocide, if they actually have the fucking stones for it, they never get satisfied. So there will be another genocide. Eventually, you have to expand your mouth wider than any organism can expand it, to stretch a metaphor. The other reason you can't do genocide is because if you actually have a fucking single human being in and around your area, people lose the stomach for it. You can't ruthlessly murder every single person because eventually you run out of terrorists. This is why they're like, why are you always talking about the women and the children? Because those are the only people that we can count on, more than likely are not actual insurgents. So they give you a fucking idea because you'll lie about every fucking military age male that you kill. I know I was in the military. I know exactly the fucking game you're trying to play. You can't fucking trick me. I was in the American military. It's a better military than yours. I know the fucking game you're trying to play. You're trying to say every military age male that you kill, every male is a fucking combatant. That's why you get pissed off at people talking about the children and the women that are dying, because they're the only people that you can't mark up as non-combatants or as combatants. Fucking idiot, okay? That's the fucking trick. That's the game. You clipped a dude, you didn't see a gun. Oh, he's a military age male. He's wearing something on his face. Yeah, okay, kid. All right, yeah. I know cops too, all right? I'm not 5 fucking years old. You don't have the ability to maintain this forever. People, when they see the genocide happening, will find it, A, politically advantageous to say it's bad because, well, fucking if there's no one else doing it, they can use it to riot. Look how fucking much juice Bad Empanada's got. Look at Chris Kunzler popping off. Genocide bad is actually a pretty agreeable standpoint, especially when the genocide's completely fucking, you can't fucking ignore it anymore, okay? Countries will start making policies of genocide bad, Israel bad, because people are going to be able to fucking profit off of that. Israel's time is now completely numbered. Their days, their months, their years are on a fucking countdown timer. All of them know it. That's why people talk about the Kali Yuga shit. They basically want to be able to do everything that they can do before the world ends. It's a doomsday cult. They are the only kind of people that can actually push genocide to the end of their lives, so to say. It's going to collapse. And when that's done, there is going to be nowhere to go because you have no friends left in the region. You are a pariah state. And in America, all I have to do is maintain the fucking heat. People like me and people that started me, all you need to do is maintain the idea that it's fucking uncool, lame, cucked, fucking dick sucks, weirdo, fucking sex pest, perverts, pedophiles united for Israel. Literally, it's your entire movement on this side of the water full of pedophiles, literal sex criminals are the people that love Israel the most because Israel needs any ally it can get, and it's out of everyone except for the people that no one else wants to be around. People that rape, people that like rape, people that defend rape, people that are pro-rape, people that are pro-raping children, people that joke about raping children, people that joke about other people raping children. Those are the kind of friends that you have. Destiny, Loner Box, their fucking assorted fucking accompaniment of commentary channels. That is who your friends are going to be. All of those people are going to turn on you in a fucking moment. The second the money stops coming, they're going to fucking shut down, turn off the ship. It's a bad policy to pursue. Defending it should be as bad a policy because the only way that it can continue is by paying people like Hutch, paying people like Destiny, or blackmailing them, finding out something that they did and forcing them to go along with it. That is the only way to maintain it, is by finding the iniquities in people and using those in order to fucking justify a genocide. And these people must be treated poorly. This must be shown to be an unprofitable measure. And all you have to do is just treat people like shit. It's like the one fucking easy win that's out there. It's like when you get fucking thyroid cancer and all you have to do is take Synthroid for a little bit. It's gone. $50 fix. It's right there. It's a fucking home improvement episode. Not home improvement. A fucking This Old House episode. They're like, well, it's just this easy to fucking change out a light switch. Just start treating these people like shit. That's why they always say preemptively, well, I don't know why we can't just get along. Oh, of course, your side being mean. The tolerant left. It's because treating them like shit fucks them up. They're all about being the top dog in society. They're all about being morally and socially superior. It's why I fucking hurt Loaderbox so bad for me to fucking incept a dead child into his head and treat him like shit and call him a cuck and a felcher. It fucking nearly broke him. Remember he was crying about his John's community? It's getting me. Yeah, that's his weak spot. Cool. He screamed when it did it. Do it again. It hurts. Do it again. It hurts. Do it until they fucking cut it the fuck out. That's all you need to do. There's a win right there. Hutch is a fucking bitch. A cunt. A fucking cunt. A fucking slut for fucking donos. Picking it up with his fucking ass. Getting quarters off the ground with his fucking tongue after someone rubbed them on their fucking balls. That's what I fucking see when I look at that guy. He's a fucking whore. A prostitute of the lowest order. One who doesn't even fuck for money like a goddamn grown-up. One who just sucks off politicians and fucking political outlets so he can get a little bit of clout. I've never been more disgusted by somebody in my fucking life. Listening to something that's that fucking important and having nothing to say, not pausing, eating a fucking burrito, nodding along, laughing, literally just existing as a fucking one of the many Potemkin people in a giant crowd full of cardboard cutouts with a few people going, yeah. He's a seat filler to a genocide. A seat filler to applauding for a genocide. That's all he is. And I don't like these people. And I think that they should be treated poorly because that's the only way to get them to stop. Because the money is great. But you know what we really learned from the Ethan Klein thing? The money doesn't insulate you from everyone fucking hates you and they're making fun of you. It doesn't insulate you from, hey, all of a sudden someone like Tyler can make fun of stuff that normally would be completely socially unacceptable because no one really wants to stand up for you anymore because of what you did. Kind of sucks. You're an outcast. You're on the outside now. You're a pariah. And you know what happens to pariah? No one does because no one fucking cares what happens to pariahs. That's why you don't do war crimes. Because no one's going to fucking care what happens to you when it's over. And even if they do, they'll say it's bad and they won't fucking lift a finger. You know this if you're a fucking pro-Israeli person because it's what you're trying to do to Hamas. Or literally what you're trying to do to Palestine via Hamas, which you're trying to pretend is equivalent to the military arm of a fucking genocidal fascist nation state developed within the last 100 years or some shit. You know it's coming. It's a rubber band. It's being pulled back from your fucking eyeball, and you're going to deserve it when it snaps you. And your only hope is to just believe that the people that you're calling simps and cucks and saying that they live in fantasy worlds and they don't understand how the world goes are going to start fucking bleeding out of their hearts for you when the fucking retaliation comes. And I hope they don't. I think that you deserve a vicious awakening. And I don't care what happens. I'll look away for a few seconds. How about that? Does that scare you? Does it scare you enough to change your fucking ways that you're acting? No, then it doesn't scare you. You're not actually afraid of it. But maybe you will be when it finally comes. Fucking disgusting. Disgusting people. Hamas has the lowest approval rating whenever it's not fighting Israel. They do absolutely nothing for their people, so let's stop pretending they're liberationists. Okay. What the fuck are we talking about? Who are you? Why are you purple? Who dis? 62 hours. Hey, yo. You've been following me for a year. This person, you've been following me since the beginning. Oh, that's Mackenzie. I know that. $20. There we go. The Israeli counter-terror strategy. Oh, okay, I did read that. This is what I was talking about at the stream. Ethan is thirsty for a clip. Scumbag behavior. Absolutely. Pizza Balla actually offered... Pizza Balla? Cardinal Pizza Balla? Is that real? Offered to trade himself to Hamas as a hostage in exchange for the women and children. Base guy, very pro-Palestinian liberty. He's up for the papacy at the moment. That's actually fucking pretty cool. Straight up some, why did you make me hit you piece of shit? Yes. Hamas, 30,000 IQ, knew if Israel killed all the children in Gaza, then people will hate Jews. Broken heart. It's clear some people don't have as much interest in learning history as others. It's true. Who is this? Are you implying time didn't start on October 7th? There's absolutely no equivalence between violence dished out by Hamas and Israel. True. So does that mean Israel is justified in killing kids and women in Gaza? Total deflection. The point is it's hard to pretend like Israel is the only monster when you have Hamas leaders in Qatar overjoyed. Oh, shut the fuck up, Mackenzie, you pussy. Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. It's hard to pretend that Israel's a monster when you have like some guys in a different country just saying they're happy about they're fucking killing kids. Shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch. What the fuck? Are you out of your fucking mind? What the fuck? Hamas leader on record saying civilian death in Gaza would benefit. Where even at this point? Who gives a fuck? This is false equivalency. It doesn't matter. They're Hamas, whatever. It doesn't change anything. Fuck Hamas. Fuck them. Israel needs to stop killing the kids. Israel's the monster. They're the only ones that I give a fuck about. They're the only monster that matters. Because Hamas hasn't managed to blow up 50 fucking hospitals. Every fucking hospital. I don't know. I can't see in all of the pictures of the endless rubble fields which one thing that might be standing if I squint hard enough is a hospital. You're a fucking idiot, dude. Shut the fuck up. That's a pro fucking Israel standpoint. Absolutely trying to deflect responsibility by saying like, oh yeah, some guys who are cunts are in a different country saying like, giggledy giggle. Like, who gives a fuck? What is that? What is so like? Oh shit! Well, fuck. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this guy's in fucking Qatar right now. He giggled about it. Oh shit! Fuck, dude. Look at that 8-year-old. Pop. Fuck. Whoops. Dude, the gun just heard the guy chuckle. He said, some guy in fucking Qatar said it's good when we kill kids. So here, I'm an Israeli. Look, watch. Pop, pop, pop. Fuck me, dude. I didn't even do that. Are you out of your fucking mind? How stupid can you be to say that? That's not what I said. It is. It is. God damn it. I don't know how you can listen to Ethan and take him seriously. It speaks volumes about the people that do. It's very weird. This is an unfair match, Tyler. You did this in IRL training. You kids only understand things from, what is it? I learned a lot in simulation, Snake. Simulation. Hamas initially supported the Arab Spring against Assad, for example, while Iran supported Assad. Hamas absolutely did not expect the response to this to be this insane. That's why they tried to call it quits on the hostage idea less than 2 weeks after October 7th, and Israel refused to let them do it. Yeah, there was a fucking 10,000 off-ramps. And like literally nothing that Hamas did. There's no point in talking about it. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck what Hamas thought was going to happen. I don't fucking care. Because the cool thing is Hamas doesn't actually control your trigger finger. It's this. Literally, watch. Look, Israel. Doesn't matter what someone else does. Unless they cut my fucking finger off and take my gun, they can't make me pull the trigger. You can't. You can't make me pull the trigger on accident. You can't make me pull the trigger for you on purpose. I gotta fucking kill the kid. Do you know what I'm saying? The person with the gun has to kill the kid. The person in the fucking jet has to press the bomb. So it doesn't matter what Hamas did because you're the one killing people. Doesn't matter. You're the one that's killing them. Doesn't matter what they did. You're killing them. Doesn't matter. You're killing them. Doesn't matter. You're killing them. Stop. Just don't do it. Well, they killed kids. Okay. Don't care. Don't kill kids. It's that easy. Watch. That easy. It's this easy. Fucking fire control. Trigger discipline. Look. Weapons on safe. It's this easy. It's literally that easy. Every attempt to have a conversation about this is just an attempt to get somebody to fucking say some like weird misstatement about a date or some dickhead that said something in 1923 about, oh, I don't know if you know this, but Jews drink with bendy straws and so Allah said that they must be fucking exterminated. Some stupid shit like that. Here's the answer. I don't fucking care. You don't kill kids. Don't care. I don't care what happened. I don't care about all the people that died, and I don't care about all the tears that were cried, and I don't care about all the stupid videos and the fucking songs. I don't give a fuck. None of it justifies killing kids. None of it. Not a single thing. None of it. Because it doesn't do anything. And you're a fucking idiot if you try to equivocate. Well, why aren't you being harder on Hamas? Well, because Hamas isn't flying bombers that have my country's fucking flag on them, and I'm not paying for Hamas to not fucking kill anyone anymore. If they're killing anybody, was it like a guy? 2 guys? I don't know. How many of Israel's non-Gaza hospitals have been knocked down by Hamas? How has Has the hummus crossed the barrier into the Israel prime? Oh yeah, I know hummus killed like 17 people and took it. And then you find out every time it's like, oh yeah, there's fucking soldiers. I don't give a fuck. Good. Soldiers are supposed to die in war. It's like literally our fucking job. Be better at killing people. Otherwise you die. Don't fight for dumb fucks. Otherwise they'll get you killed. There's fucking basic rules of soldiering. Fuck. Oh, they get forced. They're conscripted. Okay, well, bro, fucking, I don't know what to tell you. It's really easy to get out of the military. Just take a fucking knife and stab yourself in the fucking thigh as hard as you can. Like literally right down to the femur and then twist it and chip the bone. You don't have to be in the military anymore. Congratulations, you're done. What happened? That guy was a conscientious objector. Oh yeah, well, give him a gun and tell him to go kill some people. Oh, I guess I'll have to. Pop. What about that guy? Well, he stabbed himself in the leg with a fucking K-bar and chipped off his femur. Okay, well, he doesn't get to go to the front, does he? No. Not unless we have guys that are going to start crawling across fucking minefields. Jesus Christ. There's no both siding the product. There is none. If you have the ability to wipe somebody's entire fucking goddamn city off the map, you for sure had the ability to fucking acquiesce to some of their demands and kill next to nobody. You didn't want to fucking get punked or something? You're Israel. You're already a punk. You're a fucking puppet state. You're bitches. You were born to be bitches. That your entire fucking existence is you're the pet of other nations. You're not a real country. Why do you think that you can get punked? What in the fuck? You have to beg my country in my fucking language to give you money. When you have to come to my country and speak my language to give you fucking bombs, you don't have the fucking authority or the clout to say that I didn't want to get punked by terrorists. You're a fucking... You have less people in your fucking country than my state does. And I don't think you even make as much money. You're not as valuable to the world as Ohio. You don't have as many astronauts as Ohio. Ohio is better, prettier, more productive, better food than all of Israel.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the West Side.